Chapter 26. Cloud Hidden Village has obtained the inheritance of the Uzumaki clan, sealed the Eight Tails, communicated with the Eight Tails, and domesticated the Eight Tails. What is missing now is the key part. So come here and trade with Senju Rope Tree. Senju even suspected that in the original timeline, Hiruzen Sarutobi also traded this part of sealing techniques in order to stabilize Kumogakure Village. Give Yunin Village an impression of being weak and easy to bully. Sarutobi Hiruzen's position is that he is incompetent in external wars and unparalleled in internal wars. In each Konoha village in the future, ninja clans that were stronger than the Sarutobi clan disappeared under his plan, including the Senju clan, the Uchiha clan, and even the Hyuga clan. Senju had to be suspicious. I hand over the complete Uzumaki clan sealing techniques to you. There is only one condition. The real culprit who destroyed the Uzumaki clan is announced in the ninja world. Senju Naoki put forward his own conditions with a cold face. If he hadn't been vigilant, the Senju clan would have been the next Uzumaki clan. He wanted to seek justice for the Uzumaki clan. The Uzumaki clan should not be exterminated without any reason. How will the future Fourth Hokage and Mrs. Fourth Hokage face this result? The only allies of the Uzumaki clan in the entire ninja world are the Senju clan. Okay, Yunin Village also hates villains. AI, a little surprised. This condition is too simple. If the Senju clan were still in Konoha and they spread this news, no one would believe it, because the Senju clan supported the Uzumaki clan and lost more than half of their strength. Now, by spreading this news, they can weaken the prestige of Konoha Village and cause internal turmoil. This is what they want to do, and it coincides with what Senju Nezuki wants. The two quickly reached an agreement. After Senju Rope Tree sends AI away, then came the representative of Sunagakure Village, Chiyo's younger brother Ebizo. Just like people living in the desert, their skin is dry, their heads are wrapped in white gauze scarves, and their eyes are squinted, which makes Senju feel like he is being watched by Lion Majesty. Ebizo currently serves as the Umbu Minister of Sunagakure Village. Sunagakure Village, congratulations to the Senju clan for escaping from the darkness of Konoha, Ebizo said with a smile, as if facing a junior, but there was a different look in his eyes, watching Senju's reaction. The words belittled the Leaf Village and tested Senju Nezuki's attitude, to see if he really hated the Leaf Village as he had shown before. This is related to the subsequent war decision-making. No, it's not the Dark Konoha, but the Dark Sarutobi clan. We, the Senju clan, are the orthodoxy of Konoha. Senju shook his head, not recognizing what Ebizo said. From another extremely tricky angle, he expressed his current attitude. The Sarutobi clan is their common enemy. Originally, Sunagakure Village controlled part of the grain trade in Tian country, and was barely able to avoid food shortages. Sarutobi Hiruzen used the influence of the ninja family and the Leaf Village to control the country of Tian and invade the Senju clan's food routes, which also touched the interests of the Sunagakure Village. Grain trade gives both sides a basis for cooperation. But now looking at Ebizo's attitude, he is full of contempt for him. You are right, the Sarutobi clan is our common enemy. Why don't you see Tsunade? My sister asked me to greet her by the way. Ebizo, change the subject. Before coming, his sister specifically asked him to pay attention to Tsunade. On the battlefield of the Land of Rain, Chiyo and Tsunade had a brief battle. Although Tsunade was inexperienced in medical ninjutsu, her wild imagination and special chakra were very restrained by Chiyo. His sister once said that in the event of a war, Tsunade's medical ninjutsu would play a very important role. This time, in addition to reaching a deal for daily necessities, another task is to pay attention to Tsunade's whereabouts. I was secretly happy, as long as this was enough. The Senju clan and the Sarutobi clan have broken up, and Tsunade will not appear on the battlefield. The food monopoly formed by Konoha will also dissipate. They have the opportunity to obtain strategic materials such as food from the Senju clan. It will also form a united front against the Sarutobi clan. This is good news for Sand Hidden Village. Are you already preparing for war? Senju asked. He didn't believe how good the relationship between Senju and Tsunade could be. They just admired each other in the field of medical ninjutsu. Be prepared for the upcoming war. I will not continue to test. What the Sarutobi clan did in Tian country has caused damage to the interests of both of us. Sunagakure Village can eat all the food of the Senju clan at low prices. There is only one requirement. The Senju clan cannot appear on the battlefield, including Tsunade. Ebizo no longer hides his purpose. He saw a kind of cautiousness in Senju Rope Tree. It's not the slightest bit similar to the ninja world's judgment on the Senju Rope Tree, a hot-blooded idiot with no scheming. Ha ha ha. Senju Rope Tree laughed out loud. Some people always fail to understand the situation and think that they are the Senju clan now and cannot do without them. At a time when war is about to break out, the food and medicinal materials in the hands of the Senju clan are scarce resources. They are the weak side, and it is really eye-opening to raise conditions so confidently. If Sunagakure village has this attitude, then there is no need to continue talking. Senju Naoki's words were very decisive. Now it is Sunagakure village that needs supplies from the Senju clan, rather than the Senju clan, which needs the support of Sunagakure village. There was obviously no life for the prince in Sand Hidden village, but the prince's disease happened. In every ninja war, he jumped up and down, but because of his lack of strength, he was often the first to be eliminated. He always didn't look for his own problems, only thinking that it was bad luck. When the tailed beasts were assigned, they even made a joke and wanted to be careful. They were originally supposed to be assigned 1 tail and 7 tails, but they gave 7 tails to Takigakure village, hoping to establish a close relationship with Takigakure village and even control Takigakure village. Takigakure village is not only rich in water resources, but also has Azura's experience in improving desertification in ancient times. These are all good things that Sunagakure village wants to get. However, they underestimated the strength of Takigakure village and the checks and balances of other countries on Sunagakure village. It is impossible for Sunagakure village to control Takigakure village across regions, so it can only give up and ask Takigakure village to pay a large amount of money. Because of this incident, Sunagakure village became a joke to the other 4 ninja villages. I made a mistake and got confused. Ebizo recalled the current situation of Sand Hidden village and could only spit in his face and quickly admit his mistake. Sand Hidden village, which is short of resources, urgently needs a batch of survival materials. This is why they launched a war in the Kingdom of Rain. He asked with a smile on his face. Head of the Senju clan, what do you think? If you have any requests, we in Sunagakure village will try our best to meet them. Ebizo recognized the reality and no longer fool an idiot like facing a junior, but face an equal or even an absolute advantage. His attitude is full of humility, and he can accept any grievances for the sake of his village. In his previous temptation, he regarded Senju as a political novice. You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 27. This is the attitude when talking about things. Originally, we had a basis for cooperation, and it was beneficial to both parties. But what you just did made me see the shadow of the Sarutobi clan and made me feel sick. Now the attitude is sincere and cooperation can proceed, but there are 2 requirements. First, all grain must be settled in gold. Second, during the battle with Konoha, all the remains of Konoha ninjas were brought to Wood City, which could be exchanged for other living supplies. Similarly, the corpses of other ninjas can also be exchanged for supplies from me. It's that simple. Senju Naoki spread his hands and stated his request without embarrassment to Ebizo. What is hidden behind the scenes is what Senju wants. It can make some useless concessions to the other 4 ninja villages. It's a deal. Ebizo was full of doubts, but he still agreed. This was not a condition at all, but a favor. He even felt that this was Senju Rope Tree making a concession. These 2 conditions, 2 requirements, one stranger than the other, are equally beneficial to Sunagakure village. In the current ninja world, the 5 major ninja countries are implementing a unified monetary policy to consolidate the interests of the nobility and political power. The currency they promote can buy anything in the ninja world. In the money exchange, you can even buy unique ninjutsu. Their Sunagakure village has the most abundant gold reserves. Whoever allows their Kazekage to control the blood-stained boundary of sand gold can mine a large amount of gold. Sunagakure village was also hit the hardest due to the reform of monetary policy. There is even a joke in the ninja world that Kazekage is using the blood succession limit to mine gold to support Sunagakure village. As for the second request, there is various information in the corpses of ninjas, but the value of this information is limited. Now that it can be exchanged for other supplies, it is acceptable. Grandpa 6 signed the contract. Senju Naoki ignored it, and Ebizo said to Senju Doma with a different look in his eyes. He did this for his own purpose. The credit currency of the 5 major ninja countries is more like a big scam to expand their influence and control all aspects of the ninja world. The most powerful method among them is the money exchange. With just a piece of paper printed with numbers, you can control all the wandering ninjas in the ninja world and hunt down famous ninjas. This kind of force is not weaker than that of any ninja village. At some point, it can influence the current situation of the ninja world. He wants a piece of it. The currency in the money exchange is not paper with numbers printed on it, but precious metal gold. Furthermore, through the bloodline complementation system, pure chakra attribute energy is extracted, which can change the bloodline essence of the ninja's training qualifications. This is a more attractive currency. Through these means, he will be able to control the money exchange in the ninja world, control the dark side of the ninja world, and get everything he wants. An occasion like the gold exchange was simply tailor-made for him. As for the corpses of the Konoha village ninjas, they are the nutrients for the advancement of one's own bloodline and the materials for realizing one's plans. After dealing with Cloud Hidden Village and Sand Hidden Village, followed by Awagakure Village and Kirigakure Village, no major cooperation was achieved, and there was a basic consensus. Because of the relationship between geography and strength, as long as the Senju clan does not aid the Leaf Village, they will not take any hostile actions towards the Senju clan. Other small forces, after seeing the power of Wood's style, showed enough respect and reached some small cooperation. The Senju clan gradually regained their strength. After a day of negotiations and exchanges, the Senju clan has established a firm foothold in the ninja world, at least on the surface. In sharp contrast is Konoha Village. With the departure of the Senju clan, the protective power of Konoha Village has dropped to its weakest level in history. After getting the attitude of Senju Nezuki, the pace of invading Konoha Village is also accelerating. The evaluation of Hiruzen Sarutobi of the Third Hokage took a turn for the worse in Konoha and the ninja world, becoming synonymous with conspiracy. Hokage Building, Konoha Village is conducting a Jonin meeting to deal with future crises. Sitting in the main seat is Hiruzen Sarutobi, and beside him are the elders of Konoha, Koharu, Mito Kaden, and Danzo Shimura. Then came the representatives of the Uchiha clan, the Hyuga clan, the Inarakacho clan, and other ninja families. The field fell into freezing point. Everyone's expressions were extremely gloomy, and they looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with suspicion, intentionally or unintentionally. After Shimura Danzo returned, the Fire Nation's defense line was attacked. Only then did they suddenly realize that the Senju clan who were fighting on the front line disappeared, and what kind of pressure they faced. A more serious problem is that these conflicts have officially begun, and there is already the possibility of a war. Hiruzen Sarutobi was also extremely irritable. He focused on reputation management, but he still couldn't figure out how Senju, whom he had turned into a loyal dog, suddenly awakened and had such a huge negative impact on him. His favorite son, Sarutobi Shinosuke, also disappeared. All this made him very anxious. He must find a way to save it, and the most important thing now is to stabilize his position in Konoha. Ahem. Shimura Danzo, for not persuading Senju to return to the rope tree, bears part of the responsibility. No matter what, the Senju clan has betrayed Konoha and caused huge losses to our homeland. I suggest that all the property of the Senju clan in Konoha be confiscated to make up for Konoha's losses. Sarutobi Hiruzen picked up his small pipe and wanted to light it, but finally gave up and said in a pretentious manner, "Only by putting all the blame on the Senju family can we maintain our current prestige." During this period of time, different sounds had appeared in Konoha, which made him feel extremely tired. "Lord Hokage, the Senju clan no longer has any property, I'm afraid?" Mito Kadoyan beside him said quickly regardless of the looks from around him. Sarutobi Hiruzen froze on the spot. How can one have no property? The Sarutobi clan used various means to embezzle the resources of the Senju clan, but they did not kill them all, they just took away most of them. They also used various legitimate reasons, such as marriage and other means. I am now Mito Kaden and tell him that the Senju clan does not have any assets in Konoha. How is this possible? He had always reserved a hand and did not kill them all. He was just waiting for this war to make the Senju clan a scapegoat and allow the Senju clan to die out with dignity. Some jonin sitting at the conference table lowered their heads in shame. Now that the Senju clan has become like this, they are all responsible. Sarutobi Hiruzen was also relieved, so he had to be entirely blamed. The situation of the Sarutobi clan was not as difficult as imagined. The only trouble is finding cannon fodder for the war. Chapter 28. Hiruzen, what goes above and below is what works. If you eat meat, of course the others will follow suit and drink soup. Where else is the Senju clan? Haven't they integrated with Konoha long ago? Shimura Danzo raised his eyebrows slightly and mocked. He didn't want to continue taking the blame. Sarutobi Hiruzen's first words made him realize the crisis. It is very likely that he and his Shimura family will become expendable in this war instead of the Senju family. Once Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to blame him for the fault, he would take out the corpse and fight back. What the Senju Rope Tree did in the wooden castle successfully made Shimura Danzo suspicious of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The seeds have been planted, and are waiting to bear fruit. The relationship between the two cannot be as harmonious as before. Shimura Danzo's tough attitude made Sarutobi Hiruzen freeze in place. He thought to himself that it seemed that this time, Shimura Danzo would not take the blame for him. Without enough profit motivation, people's hearts will be scattered, and the team will be difficult to lead. More and more things are out of his control. Let's get together and part ways easily. This is Konoha's last show of tolerance towards the Senju clan. However, even if the Senju clan has made great contributions to Konoha, the actions of the Senju Rope Tree have plunged Konoha into a whirlpool of war. Issued an order not to allow Senju Rope Tree to step into Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen gritted his teeth and said helplessly. He glanced at the ninjas on the field and did not dare to pursue the matter further. Senju can only be given a rope tree, an insignificant punishment. Looking at those people who lowered their heads or had strange expressions on their faces, they obviously did the same thing as him. The Sarutobi family only used legal means to appropriate most of the property of the Senju clan, just to boil the frogs in warm water and let the Senju clan still see hope. But just when he was not careful, the pot used to cook the Senju clan was taken away. The Senju clan awakened, leaving him defenseless. I cursed these people in my heart for ruining my plan. What he did, and what the Konoha ninja clan did, were exposed to the ninja world and became a representative of ingratitude. No matter how you try to cover it up, there is no reason to continue attacking the Senju clan. What he is most worried about now is his son, who has not been found until now. He still didn't understand what went wrong in his plan to cause such a big change in the Senju Rope Tree. The troubles are getting bigger and bigger, and his original plan is ruined. No matter what, he will become the greatest Hokage, surpassing his own teacher Senju Tobirama, surpassing the ninja god Senju Hashirama. These two Hokages are the nightmare in his heart, and they are also the reason why he secretly deals with the Senju clan, intentionally or unintentionally. The Senju clan left, and the consumables for this battle could only be chosen from the Konoha clan, which gave him a headache. No entry? This order from Sarutobi Hiruzen made many people feel unbelievable. Looking at the white Hokage robe, other colors appeared in his eyes, no longer as pure as before, but with the color of Sarutobi Hiruzen. They didn't believe the news spread by the Senju clan at first, but now it seems they need to reconsider. Did Hiruzen Sarutobi really have any ambitions, assassinating Senju Noboru many times, and murdering the heir of the ninja clan in his heart? This involves their interests, and they do not want the heirs of their family to die in the conspiracy while on the battlefield. The reputation of the Senju clan is too good, and the reputation of the Senju Rope Tree is too stupid. No one believes that this is the trap of the Senju Rope Tree. Is such a Hokage qualified to continue leading them? Sarutobi Hiruzen noticed everyone's gaze and became less respectful. His eyes swept over these people, using his past prestige to suppress other thoughts in their hearts. His eyes turned to the Zaludi family who were absolutely loyal to him. Give them a wink and the problem must be solved. He also realized that war was coming, which was a crisis but also an opportunity. Konoha must win this war so that he can keep the Hokage's position. Once defeated, he will not be able to suppress these ninja families, and his most valued reputation and family power will also suffer a fatal blow. Sir Hokage, there has been another riot on the battlefield of the Country of Rain. Many stations have been lost. The war will soon burn to the point where the defense line of the Country of Fire must assemble a team of ninjas to support them. The leader of the Nara clan, Nara Nihisa, noticed Sarutobi Hiruzen's gaze and spoke. Sighing in his heart, the Ino, Deer, and Butterfly's family had already boarded the ship of the Sarutobi family. They were both prosperous and devastated. Over the years, their Zuludi family has indeed developed by leaps and bounds. There is no way out. He can only continue walking according to the route planned by Sarutobi Hiruzen. The conference room fell into silence. Everyone looked indifferent and pretended not to hear clearly. The experiences of the Senju clan made them understand that only by preserving their family power can they obtain their own interests in the large collective of Konoha. Duanzo, what do you think? Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyebrows drooped, and his heart was filled with disappointment. I have paid so much for Konoha. Why can't I get recognition? Why don't these people understand their painstaking efforts? What do you think? Of course, listen to Hokage. You are the leader of this village. Shimura Danzo opened his mouth slightly, but he was not angry in his heart. When something good happens, let me step back, but when something offends people, let me stand in front of it. He recognized Sarutobi Hiruzen's face more clearly. Hiruzen, you are Hokage. Konoha is facing a huge dilemma now. All of us support your idea. Go to bed. Koharg frowned, confused, but he still calmed down the atmosphere and expressed his position to support Sarutobi Hiruzen. This is already a war, and all ninjas must obey your orders. Naramingio's firm voice spread throughout the conference room. Others were moved. This sentence reminds everyone here that no matter what, Sarutobi Hiruzen is the Hokage. In today's environment, especially in wartime, the orders of the Hokage must be followed. Everyone couldn't help but straighten their bodies. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, regaining his confidence in his heart. During the war, no matter how big a mistake he made, no one could deprive him of his highest status. This was his last chance. His eyes swept across everyone on the field, and his eyes fell on the young Uchiha Fugaku. Behind him was Uchiha Mirror. Uchiha Fugaku is 5 years older than the Senju Rope Tree, and the Uchiha clan is more precocious. Chapter 29. Senju is gone. Isn't there still the Uchiha clan? As long as they can practice the will of fire, this battle is not without hope. With Uchiha Mirror's persuasion, his plan has a high chance of success. Some wily clan leaders noticed the gaze of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and their emotions were extremely complicated. Is this for the Uchiha clan to take over the Senju clan's place and become the main force in this war? On the one hand, I don't want to pay too much attention to the life and death of the Uchiha clan. They have never truly accepted the Uchiha clan. I have to admire Senju Tobirama's plan, not only to trick his grandson, but most importantly, to trick the Uchiha clan. The establishment of the security department and the arrogance of the Uchiha clan will definitely offend those who do not abide by the order in Konoha, making them always on the opposite side of the Konoha ninja clan. The ninja family itself is a representative of privilege. On the other hand, this behavior of Sarutobi Hiruzen made them feel chilled. The Senju clan and the Uchiha clan, the most important founders of Konoha, were treated in this way. Will they use such destructive methods to deal with their family in the future? Danzo, what do you think about letting Uchiha go to the battlefield of Rain Country with him? Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice became softer, asking Shimura Danzo's opinion, while also showing weakness and repairing the relationship between the two. Every time before, Shimura Danzo disagreed with him, and he only needed to express his dissatisfaction with the Uchiha clan, and Shimura Danzo would stand on the same front with him. This is because, when selecting a disciple for second Hokage Senju, Shimura Danzo was not selected, and the person who replaced him was Uchiha Kagami. Later, after the efforts of the Shimura family and the persuasion of Senju Hashirama, Shimura Danzo was accepted as his disciple. Therefore, Senju Tobirama has a slight prejudice against Shimura Danzo. You are Hokage, I listen to you. Shimura Danzo closed his eyes and responded mechanically, not as full of gunpowder as before. If it had been before, he would have forgiven Sarutobi Hiruzen long ago. Now, Shimura Danzo felt cold all over, as if he was drowning in the sea. He had never really seen Sarutobi Hiruzen clearly, and after being reminded by Senju Nezuki, he became wary of Sarutobi Hiruzen. When I think back on my interactions with Hiruzen Sarutobi, I always feel a sense of hypocrisy. Could it be that Sarutobi Hiruzen even deceived his teacher? An idea occurred in his mind, but he did not express it, and he still maintained the original way of getting along. Everything depends on what Hiruzen Sarutobi will do in the future. Hokage-sama, the ninjas of the Uchiha clan are good at fire style, so they may be weakened to a certain extent on the battlefield in the Land of Rain. It is better to go to Tian country and fight against the ninjas of Sunagakure village, which will have certain advantages. Uchiha Mirror pursed his lips and hesitated for a long time before putting forward his opinion. The Kingdom of Rain is the most important war. The Uchiha clan should not be afraid of difficulties. I will send some of Konoha's ninjas to support the Uchiha clan. As for Tianjigua, the scale of the battle is not large now, and only vigilance is needed. Sarutobi Hiruzen squinted his eyes, feeling a little dissatisfied with the Uchiha Mirror. I originally thought that the biggest obstacle was Uchiha Fugaku, a young boy, but I didn't expect that the first person to oppose him was Uchiha Mirror. The war in the Kingdom of Tian is closer to the Kingdom of Fire and less dangerous. Of course, it must be left to the Sarutobi clan and his close relatives, who still have many industries there. There is the key to his control of the Senju clan and the suppression of the Senju clan. The food from Tian country and the medicinal materials from the Nara clan can definitely replace the Senju clan. Let the Senju clan realize their stupidity. Without the protection of Konoha, they are nothing and can do nothing. The country of Rain is the meat grinder of the future. It must have a strong shield to stand there and become the target of several major ninja countries, consuming their vitality. Uchiha Mirror felt the dissatisfaction of Hiruzen Sarutobi and shook his head helplessly. In his heart, He did not want to retain the power of the Uchiha clan, but wanted to retain the power of Konoha as a whole. He wanted to continue persuading him, but Uchiha Fugaku overcame him. Master Hokage, the Uchiha clan accepts the arrangement and is willing to contribute to the peace of Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku raised his head and looked directly at Sarutobi Hiruzen with firm eyes. At this time, the Senju clan betrayed Konoha. As long as the Uchiha clan showed enough affinity and contributed to Konoha, they would be able to truly integrate into Konoha. He will fulfill the wish that the Uchiha clan has not fulfilled for decades, giving the Uchiha clan the opportunity to ascend to the position of Hokage. All this is based on good relations with the Third Hokage. Originally, he wanted to join Hiruzen Sarutobi and become a disciple of the Hokage, but unfortunately he was not of the right age. At that time, Hiruzen Sarutobi had just accepted the Konoha Sannin and had no intention of paying attention to him. He believes that this is his opportunity, and it is also an opportunity for the Uchiha family. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes widened with surprise and joy. Are this generation of Uchiha clan leaders so naive? It seems that my education in the Will of Fire was not in vain. Uchiha Fugaku, the new leader of the Uchiha clan, is only 5 years older than Senju Nasuki and 5 years younger than Konoha Sannin. In the conference room, other jonin had strange looks on their faces. A Senju Rope Tree left, and an Uchiha Fugaku came. They were happy to see Sarutobi Hiruzen fooling all the stupid boys. Uchiha Itachi's eyes flickered, and he stopped persuading. The village and the family have made decisions, so what can he say? This will only disrupt Uchiha Fugaku's plan and cause dissatisfaction with Hiruzen Sarutobi. Okay, that's the decision. The Uchiha clan settled on the Rain Country front and elected their own commanders. After winning the battle, the Uchiha clan can elect one person to join the elders group. I will also accept you as a disciple. The Uchiha clan is the greatest contributor to Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a smile on his face and said 3 good words in a row. There is the Uchiha clan, filling the gap left by the Senju clan, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Able to accomplish his goals faster. All ninja clans that surpass the Sarutobi clan will be weakened one by one. At that time, he will have the greatest say in Konoha. Give the Uchiha clan an irresistible temptation and change your attitude towards the Uchiha clan. Losing the support of the Senju clan and seeking the support of the Uchiha clan is a tool in hand anyway, but it is just a different way of destruction. Lord Hokage, the Uchiha clan must go all out, and Konoha will surely win. Uchiha Fugaku's eyes shone with excitement, and his heart was extremely excited. He seemed to have seen that the Uchiha clan had become the largest clan in Konoha. With the Uchiha family taking the initiative, the next thing will be easy to handle. Konoha has not yet realized the cruelty of this ninja battle, thinking that everything is under control. The final loss, and the worst result, is that the Uchiha clan suffered heavy losses. Konoha summoned an allied force led by the Uchiha clan to go to the Land of Rain. Within the Uchiha clan, they caught the cake drawn by Sarutobi Hiruzen and rushed out in full force to retake Konoha's front in just 3 days. In one fell swoop, they suppressed the native ninjas of the Land of Rain, Sunagakure Village, and Cloud Hidden Village. Until Chiyo from Sunagakure Village entered the scene, puppetry and poisonous spells caused heavy losses to Konoha Village. Konoha Village was surprised to find that Sunagakure Village was preparing to invade across the board. Sunagakure Village's logistical supply is insufficient, and this most fatal weakness has disappeared. Konoha Umbu discovered that the food of the Senju clan, which they thought controlled the lifeblood of the Senju clan, became the first sword to stab them. Chapter 30. Senju Rope Tree, who is far away in the Wooden City, is always paying attention to the progress of the war. He sneered at the behavior within Konoha. I can't understand the reaction of the Uchiha clan. The Uchiha clan will perish if you don't perish. Each one is more neurotic than the other. Uchiha Itachi must be influenced by this idiot Uchiha Fugaku. Senju had to admire Hiruzen Sarutobi for being able to find a way out in a crisis. The strength of the Uchiha clan is enough to replace the Senju clan. But in terms of logistics supplies, they cannot compare with the Senju clan. The Uchiha clan's main industries are ores and weapons. After Konoha realized the crisis, it put pressure on the Fire Country and the Senju clan, hoping to restore the former trade relations and monopolize the Senju clan's supplies. The price given was still the same price as before, and it looked like a charity. Senju Naoki did not agree and insisted on one condition, asking Sarutobi Shinosuke to apologize to him. This seemingly no-threshold condition can never be achieved by Konoha. Within Konoha, there was quite a bit of criticism towards the Sarutobi clan and Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hiruzen Sarutobi was not in a hurry. He used this excuse to let Tion no Kuni and the Nara clan step up to fill the trade vacancy of the Senju clan, and was still secretly pleased with himself. Externally, they began to use Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, two former Senju clan leaders, to discredit the Senju Rope Tree, denying his legitimacy to become the leader of the Senju clan. All this is like clown-like behavior in front of Wood style. The City of Wood. City Lord's Mansion. The Jonin of the Senju clan gathered together again for a meeting. The conference room was clean and brand new, and there were a few bouquets of flowers on the table, adding a bit of vitality. The ninja world began to discredit the Senju Rope Tree. Within the Kingdom of Fire, different voices also appeared, believing that the Senju Rope Tree was not qualified to occupy the Wooden City. They are all ungrateful dogs. It's also Senju Tobirama's fault for leaving a clue. Do you actually take our charity and our contribution as a matter of course? It's ridiculous to use the so-called Hokage's last wish to bind us. Senju Dojiin said jokingly with a smile on his face. He has the qualifications to evaluate Senju Tobirama. The status of the Senju clan's inherited elder is only lower than that of the Senju clan's patriarch, and Senju Tobirama has never officially succeeded the Senju clan's patriarch. Senju Tobirama devoted all his energy to Konoha, and finally gave the order for the Senju clan to integrate into Konoha, treating the Senju clan as his own private property and dedicating it to Konoha, without any regard for the feelings of the clan members. These people here are far more loyal to their families than to Konoha, especially the current members of the Senju clan, who were all deceived by Senju Tobirama's last wish. How could they possibly abide by the last wish of integrating into Konoha? The faces of every Jonin present are no longer as nervous as they were at the first meeting, but look calm and full of hope. The actions of Senju Rope Tree in the past half-month have allowed the Senju clan to gain a firm foothold. These rumors are just an adjustment. Don't blame Tobirama. People have endless greed, but evil still defeats good. Human nature can never stand the test. Senju Sato, with a melancholy expression, explains to Senju Tobirama. He was originally an important supporter of Senju Tobirama, but because of his excessive influence, he was rated as genin in the ninja evaluation. He was once so naive, thinking that the barriers between people could be eliminated and everyone could live in Konoha village equally. After the Senju clan surrendered their status, a large number of Gyuki snake gods appeared in Konoha. Those small families in the past had a sense of superiority and used their power to divide the people of Konoha into 3, 6, or 9 grades, which completely went against the original intention of Konoha's establishment. Sarutobi Hiruzen is still the same self-righteous person who stirs up trouble. A formal document was also issued, asking about the whereabouts of Sarutobi Shinosuke. Senju shook his head with a mocking look on his face. Sarutobi Hiruzen should have realized that Sarutobi Shinosuke's disappearance was related to him, so he wanted to use this method to test. The two sides were obviously at odds, but they still wanted to use the posture of their elders to suppress others, causing Senju to be stunned for a while. It seems that the previous image of Senju Rope Tree played a certain role. Even if your temperament changes drastically, it won't be like a different person. Shimura Danzo did not report the information in the wooden castle in detail to Sarutobi Hiruzen, which caused him to have this misjudgment. Perhaps in his heart, the Senju Rope Tree will still be affected by his will of fire, but now it is just held hostage by the Senju clan. The other Jonin had angry expressions on their faces. This old guy, Sarutobi Hiruzen, still dares to do this. Only Senju Tujin understands the details and thinks secretly whether there are any loopholes. Patriarch, the rumors are spread too widely, and people in the family don't believe them, but they will eventually have an impact on us. The nobles of the Fire Country also had different voices. The future will have unpredictable consequences for the Senju clan and affect their reputation. Should we take measures? Senju Dojiin had a questioning look in his eyes, and there were hints in his words. Rumors, this kind of thing, it is difficult to distinguish between truth and falsehood. It is easy for people to have other ideas and become a means and tool for villains to fight. Sarutobi Hiruzen is a person who is good at using rumors. The Senju family's ability to gain a foothold so quickly has a lot to do with the good reputation Senju Hashirama has built. The performance of the 5 major countries when they were established in the past was that they clearly had the strength to force other countries to sign unequal treaties, but they chose to solve problems through negotiation. This can be regarded as a sign of affection. Strength and fame complement each other, which is one of the reasons why Hiruzen Sarutobi wants to become the strongest Hokage. It was anticipated and prepared for a long time. The person who should really care is Konoha, not us. The filth in Konoha should also appear in the ninja world. Senju changed his expression from indifferent to looking like he was watching a show. The ninjas present had doubts on their faces. The agreement with Kumo Hidden Village was to reveal the truth about the demise of the country of Uzumaki. I didn't expect Kumo Hidden Village to be so patient, Senju Tsukuma explained. Intelligence shows that the troops from Yunin Village have assembled and are preparing to enter. The chips in Konoha's hands are useless. Senju nodded and told the secret. Konoha used the Uzumaki clan's sealing techniques as a condition, thinking that it could temporarily hold back the Cloud Hidden Village and bury the truth about the Uzumaki clan's demise. Now, Cloud Hidden Village should have received the inheritance of Turtle Island, and Killer Bee has become 8 Tails Jinchuriki, on the road to becoming a perfect Jinchuriki. Hearing Senju Doma's words, everyone present felt a sense of joy in their hearts. The Senju clan suffered heavy losses on the battlefield of the Whirlpool Kingdom. Konoha will eventually pay the price for what he has done. You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 31. It's not enough. Hiruzen Sarutobi should pay the price for what he did. Senju touched his knees unconsciously, without any warmth, and a stern look flashed in his eyes. He seemed to return to the time when he was on the verge of death, the pain, the silence, the despair. Sarutobi Hiruzen should pay the price for what he did. The first step is to destroy the reputation he has accumulated over the years. This is easy, because what Sarutobi Hiruzen did has mixed reputations and reputations, because he is a Hokage and suppresses all news that is not good for him. Now is the best time. The Senju clan left, and different voices appeared in Konoha. The ninja world is unstable. Other ninja villages and ninja countries are full of scrutiny of his Hokage, who is not worthy of the name. Whether he has the ability and prestige to take on this important responsibility. The people in the conference room felt a chill and stopped watching the show. They are all victims of Sarutobi Hiruzen's regime, and they should seek justice for themselves and the Senju clan. Senju Dajian noticed Senju Nesuke's attitude. His eyes were filled with distress. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen likes to use this method, let him feel how hurtful rumors are. Senju realized his gaffe, regained his gentle expression, took out a stack of paper in his hand, and distributed it. Several big characters came into view. The 7 deadly sins of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The first crime was improper positioning. He was obviously a Hokage guard. In the name of a guard, he went to protect Senju Tobirama and negotiated with Kimogakure. The last person to die was Senju Tobirama, who possessed the Flying Thunder God technique. The so-called order for him to take over from Hokage was just the result of several guards colluding with each other to shirk their responsibilities. Fundamentally, the legitimacy of Hiruzen Sarutobi Hokage is not recognized. Not only did he question Hiruzen Sarutobi, but he also questioned the elders of Konoha. In the alliance ceremony in Konoha in 16 years, Senju Tobirama died in the conspiracy of Kimogakure, and as a guard, Hiruzen Sarutobi and now the group of elders survived. That was Senju Tobirama who mastered the Flying Thunder God technique. Several guards who were weak at the beginning have now become the leaders of Konoha and the winners of profits. They have also forced the Senju clan to leave Konoha. The second crime is to play with the body of first Hokage Senju Hashirama, dig it out from the coffin, study the unique blood inheritance limit of the Senju clan, and conduct human experiments. Disrespecting heroes, denying the establishment of Konoha village, and desecrating the bodies of Konoha heroes. Those who sacrificed for Konoha were not respected and could not rest in peace after death. How could there be anyone who sacrificed for Konoha? The third sin is to have a false name. Create a false name for yourself as Dr. Ninjutsu. But all the ninjutsu and forbidden techniques he mastered are recorded in the Book of Sealings. The so-called profound knowledge is all fake and is the legacy of Senju Tobirama. Ordinary civilian ninjas and family ninjas who want to exchange for high-level ninjutsu and forbidden techniques need to make great contributions. It is not him who uses the Book of Sealing to fulfill his reputation. What is ninjutsu famous for? What are its achievements? No, all are achievements that I brag about. All are Senju Tobirama's achievements. The fourth crime is not distinguishing between public and private matters. Treat everything in Konoha village as your own private property. Use the power in your hands to embezzle the assets belonging to Konoha. From the sealed book to Konoha's ninja school, Umbu, and the hospital, they are all under his control. The fifth sin is jealousy of the virtuous. Controlling Konoha's ratings and issuing ninja missions does not respect the facts. A ninja who is obviously very powerful gets unmatched rewards because of the mechanism he controls. A large number of ninjas who clearly possess Jonin's strength can only receive Genin's basic rewards. The sixth sin, enriching one's own pockets. Using the rights given by the villagers of Konoha to allow the Sarutobi clan and the Nara clan to take over the channels used by the Senju clan and make huge war fortunes. The price of purchasing food and medicinal materials from the Land of Land has increased several times, and it is the finance of the Land of Fire and the villagers of Konoha who bear the consequences. The seventh sin, multiple murders, unfair treatment of the heirs of the Senju clan. Senju is said to be incompetent, but the resources he receives are not as good as Tsunade, and far less than Sarutobi Shinosuke. Shameless Hiruzen Sarutobi chose special Jonin, who was good at basic teaching, to teach his juniors. It's unheard of. I really value education. I want to keep the Hokage's position in the Sarutobi family. Konoha will be the private property of the Sarutobi family for generations. At first, everyone didn't take it seriously. When I saw this title, I felt a little bit teasing, thinking that Senju Rope Tree wanted revenge. The so-called 7 deadly sins attack Sarutobi Hiruzen from the aspect of his personal morality. Over the years, Sarutobi Hiruzen has become so lustful that even the great names of the Fire Country know about it. Is there anything worth attacking about such a reputation? But the more I looked at it, the more surprised I became. Every one of them has something to say, and there is evidence to check. Not only did his personal ethics fall short, but his lustful behavior was not ranked high. He also made unforgivable mistakes in terms of the interests of his family and country. Half of the anger that ignited them was related to the Senju clan. Combining the experience of the Senju clan, it was discovered that the decline of the Senju clan was due to the plan of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and all the lost things were embezzled by the Sarutobi clan. The body of Senju Hashirama reminds them of the events a few years ago. A large number of members of the Senju clan died mysteriously and turned into trees. That unique way of death is the backlash of wood style. Konoha is using members of the Senju clan to conduct wood style experiments. The other half was something they couldn't tolerate. The Senju clan dedicated their family to Konoha, and the Sarutobi clan, represented by Hiruzen Sarutobi, lay on Konoha's body and kept sucking blood, causing the Sarutobi clan to transform. The actions of the two families are completely opposite, and the results obtained are different. The Senju clan is about to die, but the Sarutobi clan is thriving. They don't believe it, they don't understand it, and they don't accept it. Is this what the world is like? Good people will die first and become stepping stones for evil people. Each Senju tribe member had a gloomy expression on his face, realizing how stupid he had been and being deceived. A wry smile appeared on Senju Doma's face. He didn't expect Hiruzen Sarutobi to hide so deeply and do so many things. They smiled at each other with Senju Sato, and being led by Senju Rashu made them feel more at ease. Other Jonin also regained their composure, and some still had waves of shame on their faces. They had been deceived so miserably, but fortunately this kind of thing would not happen again. The anger that was ignited in his heart was not extinguished. Clan leader, it's an eye-opener. But I'm still a little bit dissatisfied. I've committed such a crime. Is it enough to just condemn and expose it? I wanted to take matters into my own hands. Senju Doma said sincerely. The other Jonin nodded in agreement, more convinced of the Senju Rope Tree. Chapter 32. This accusation, coupled with the news revealed by Yunin village, is enough for Sarutobi Hiruzen to drink a pot. Senju Rope Tree has a smile on his face and a kind of contentment in his eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is good at using public opinion to attack others, how should he deal with rumors? Everything he said was not made up. Every one of them is true, and there is no need to investigate. As long as you don't deceive yourself and open your eyes, you can see it. Nowadays, the strength of the Sarutobi clan is enough to be called the largest clan in Konoha, surpassing the Uchiha clan. Thanks to the 17 years since Konoha, Sarutobi Hiruzen has made good use of the power in his hands. Its main source of strength is divided into several parts. The first part, the original foundation, the Sarutobi clan can be considered a big clan. During the Warring States period, it was not as good as Uchiha, Senju, and Hyuga. They were second-rate in the ninja world and could be considered a powerful nation. The second part, the Inoka butterfly family. Each generation of the Inaraka butterfly combination becomes a combination under the witness of the Sarutobi clan. This combination is likely to be the patriarch of the Inaraka butterfly family. The third part, using the convenience of Hokage to embezzle the remaining forces of the Senju clan and the Uzumaki clan, has not yet been fully digested. For example, the trade in grain and medicinal materials, the planting base of Tian country, the sealed market left by the Uzumaki clan, etc. Senju Rope Tree wants to remove the power of the Sarutobi clan one by one, starting with the power that should not belong to him. Sarutobi Hiruzen, his ugly face will eventually be exposed. Senju Saruto sneered. He was recruited into the Sarutobi clan's team, and he is the person who best understands the style of the Sarutobi clan. When a battle occurs, the ninjas of the Sarutobi clan are never seen. But whenever rewards are given for merit, the ninjas of the Sarutobi clan are always at the top of the list of merits. Such shameful behavior has almost become the default unspoken rule on the battlefield. Before, because of Sarutobi Hiruzen Hokage's position, no one dared to resist or raise objections. Now that we have entered the ninja world war period, if we still dare to do this, then the Konoha ninja army will collapse. The unspoken rules that have been made clear will not continue to exist. This is just the first step. What we have to do now is to control the grain trade. That is our fundamental. Whoever controls food controls humanity. The kingdom of Tian is the next battlefield between us and the Sarutobi clan. Senju stood up and pointed at the map behind him. The direction was exactly the location of Tian country. Once a war breaks out, it will be a battleground. Half of the food trade of the Senju clan comes from the food production areas represented by Wooden City in the Country of Fire, and the other half comes from the Country of Fields. The land of fields was not suitable for farming. It was during the time when Senju Hashirama was in charge of the Hokage that he used wood style to modify the terrain and environment, which resulted in the current fertility. However, they betrayed the Senju clan. Because of the decline of the Senju clan, Tian Nakuni forgot his past favors and cooperated closely with the Sarutobi clan, becoming part of the Sarutobi clan's strength. Instead, it became a knife in the hands of the Sarutobi family to attack the Senju family. Senju Rope Tree wants to get back the foundation of the Senju clan. Control food, control population, control currency, and it will control the entire ninja world. Betrayers should pay the price. I beg you to do this. I will let Tian country return to the embrace of the Senju clan. Senju Dojian's face was full of seriousness, with a hint of melancholy in his eyes. When Tanokuni betrayed the Senju clan and took the initiative to approach the Sarutobi clan, he wanted to eliminate the traitors. The Senju Rope Tree at that time stopped him. After all, at that time, his predecessor had a stupid dream of being a Hokage. No, everyone came out in full force. This is a battle for our Senju clan standing. In a larger sense, the daimyo of Tian country are ungrateful. Everything there is a gift given to them by the Senju clan, so we have reason to take action. We also need to show the ninja world the true power of the Senju clan. Otherwise, sooner or later, someone will take aim at the Senju clan. Force is the source of suppressing all restlessness. Senju's eyes flashed, and he felt something strange, but he couldn't find the source, so he could only announce his decision. Nowadays, all the forces in the ninja world are not interested in the Senju clan. There are several reasons. The first point is that he used his identity as a Senju clan to become a noble of the Fire Country and was temporarily protected. The second point is the blessings left by Senju Hashirama. Whether it is strength or credibility, no one questions it in a short time. Everything needs to be based on strength, and they need a war to demonstrate the strength of the Senju clan. The Country of Fields is the battlefield chosen by the Senju Rope Tree, a place that kills 3 birds with 1 stone. The power that can attack the Sarutobi clan, be able to take back what belongs to the Senju clan, and make the Senju clan established in the ninja world. This thing must be done beautifully. Follow the clan leader's orders. A trace of caution flashed in Senju Dojian's eyes, and he immediately agreed. Coming from the Warring States period, he believed that power was everything. It's time to fight for the Senju clan and no longer make useless sacrifices for Konoha. Follow the patriarch's orders. The other ninjas also responded immediately. Some people's eyes are full of eagerness to try. This was the Senju clan's first battle after leaving Konoha, and the name of the Senju clan reappeared in the ninja world. Go and gather the clansmen. Senju Dojian stays. Senju's ears moved slightly, and the feeling of being watched became more intense. Soon he found the source and sent the tribesmen away to prepare for the response. Everyone left, and only Senju Naoki and Senju Doma were left in the conference room. Grandpa 6, there are bugs, Senju said coldly, his eyes falling on the vase of decorative flowers on the conference table. Senju Dojian was a little confused at first, but when he heard these words, his eyes flashed with a sharp look. Someone was eavesdropping on what they just said, and they were at the wooden table in front of them. The fluctuation of wood style is also noticed. They both started at the same time. Wood style prison. The vines and tree roots were woven into a prison to control the conference room. The unique chakra marks of the two invaded the huge wooden table in front of them and forced out two white humanoid substances from it. He kept squirming, trying to break through the prison, but failed. Paralyzed by the poison in Senju Doma wood style. What is this? I feel the breath of wood style on them? Senju Dojian strode out with a look of surprise on his face. Unexpectedly, there was such a thing right under their noses, integrated into the desks and flowers and plants. If they had not awakened to wood style, they would have never noticed such a thing. A big hand grabbed by Ju's neck and began to study. White Zetsu. Senju Naoki was shocked. Was he being targeted by Uchiha Madara? Sensing ability spread out, and he checked the surroundings to confirm that there were only 2 white Zetsus. Is it a regular monitoring of the ninja world, or is it just for them? Chapter 33. Do you know him? Senju Dojian turned around and asked. Some people are impatient, but we are not enemies for the time being. Senju nodded and said nothing more. The current state of Uchiha Madara, even if it is not close to being exhausted, will not affect Senju's plan. Uchiha Madara is working on his Eye of the Moon. At this time, all his attention is on the Land of Rain, where a war broke out. His Eyes of God are on Uzumaki Nagato, which is the most important thing. I also had a guess in my mind. It should be with style, which caught the attention of Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara's chest is also engraved with Senju Hashirama's head. Her love is too deep. Could it be that he was moved by the scene? He also realized that it could be a coincidence that 1 or 2 people awakened the wood style. The emergence of too many people controlling the wood style would definitely cause a sensation in the ninja world, and he would need to keep a low profile if he awakened some old coins. Senju Nezuki's plan to awaken all the Senju clan to wood style needs to be postponed, otherwise Uchiha Madara will notice it. But even if you don't awaken the wood style, you can still improve the strength of the Senju clan based on other chakra attributes. By the way, it confirms the idea of using gold and blood essence as currency. While thinking about it, he put the 2 Baiju corpses into his own soul space. This is also a good experimental material. Senju Doma didn't ask any questions. With the growth of Senju Rope Tree, he only needed to be a solid backing. The most important thing for them now is a battle to establish their prestige, a battle for the kingdom of Tian. The special geographical location and resources of Tianji country will bring together many ninjas. It requires careful planning. One day later, the ninjas of the Senju clan gather. The gift Senju Rope Tree gave to Sarutobi Hiruzen also spread to the entire ninja world. The Kumogakure and Kirigakure villages cooperated particularly well, and the truth about the Uzumaki clan's demise also spread among the ninja world. The reputation that Hiruzen Sarutobi had built for 17 years as a Hokage was destroyed in a single letter. In the 17th year of Konoha, Senju Tobirama died, and Hiruzen Sarutobi, who was 25 years old, became the third Hokage. It has become synonymous with the most sinister and vicious fire in the ninja world. Become a ninja and shadow from other countries, and educate your own children and grandchildren as a negative example. Konoha Village. Falling into a strange calm, every ninja family also learned the truth about the 7 deadly sins of Hiruzen Sarutobi and the demise of the Uzumaki clan. Each ninja family does not need too much investigation. Just intuitive feelings and the changes in Konoha in the past 10 years can confirm that all the things recorded above are facts. 17 years. With the help of Hiruzen Sarutobi's influence, the Sarutobi family became the largest ninja family in Konoha's darkest power. Originally, the Uchiha clan served as a fig leaf, but now the true identity of the Sarutobi clan has been revealed to everyone in the ninja world. The families close to Sarutobi Hiruzen have also developed rapidly, and the living space they squeeze is not only the Senju family, but also other small ninja families. After being awakened, he suddenly realized that Konoha was about to become Sarutobi Hiruzen's Konoha. From various shops selling basic supplies, to ninja hospitals, to ninja schools, they are all controlled by the Sarutobi clan. They began to miss the Senju clan who were selfless and truly practiced the will of fire. Various ninja families began to silently resist, with various types of non-cooperation and protests, trying to resist this injustice. If it were in normal times, Sarutobi Hiruzen could use the Hokage's prestige to suppress all kinds of dissatisfaction, but now it is the preparation period for war, and he dare not do so. He vented his anger in the Hokage building and finally gave in, giving up part of the benefits and allocating them to other ninja families to temporarily stabilize them. None of this can change the image of the Sarutobi clan in the hearts of the Konoha ninja clan. Such insidious people need to be on guard at all times. Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart was full of helplessness, and he could only wait for the war to be over and settle things again. As long as this war is won, the negative remarks against him can be reversed. Uzumaki Kushina, after learning the truth about the demise of the Uzumaki clan, wanted to question Sarutobi Hiruzen, but was stopped by Namikaze Minato. Kushina Uzumaki, who has fallen into a love trap, has forgotten the hatred of the Uzumaki clan's demise. All this has not affected the hard power of the Sarutobi clan. 17 years is enough time to train the younger generations of the family, and that is his real support. In the ninja world, strength is king after all. The Kingdom of Fire, Daming Mansion. Sarutobi Hiruzen, this villain who talks sweetly but hides a sword in his smile, finally let the whole world see his true face. Wearing gorgeous clothes, the white and plump name is already old. After hearing the news, I rarely ate more than a few bowls of meat. Pass his 2 sons on to him. He needs to reconsider. Daimyo heir? The eldest son is the orthodox heir. His mother is the aunt of the Senju Rope Tree and has a close relationship with the Senju clan. The second son, his mother, is the daughter of the Minister of Finance of the Land of Fire and has a close relationship with the Sarutobi family secretly. The original Senju clan was in decline, and the Sarutobi clan became the actual controller of Konoha. He was ready to let the second son inherit the Fire Country and become the daimyo of the Fire Country, because the Fire Country daimyo and the Konoha Hokage influence each other. Only in this way can the Fire Nation remain prosperous. But Sarutobi Hiruzen's reputation and the things he had done made the Fire Nation daimyo feel uneasy, and he never made up his mind. Now that the Senju clan has suddenly emerged again, the eldest son has hope again. This is also one of the reasons why Senju Rope Tree's aunt helped Senju Rope Tree enter the Mainwood city. With the cunning of Sarutobi Hiruzen and the excellent virtues of the Senju clan that have been passed down from generation to generation, there is no need to think too much. I will choose the Senju clan. The lessons from the country of Whirlpool made the daimyo deeply fearful of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The Senju clan is the country of Whirlpool and has lost more than half of its power, while Konoha, led by Hiruzen Sarutobi, is secretly destroying the country of Whirlpool. With the sharp contrast, I had an idea in my mind and helped Senju to move back into Konoha. Yunin Village. Third Hokage, the muscles on his body swelled, and he smashed the table in front of him with one palm and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Full of schadenfreude. They were also the ones behind the joke. In the rough eyes of this group of elders, the Senju clan, Konoha, and the Sarutobi clan are all clowns performing for them, and they are all dirty people. They are the ones who go to the theater. Senju Tobirama was a wise leader, but he fell into trouble with his disciples. Our Yunin village can finally take back our own land. Powerful chakra erupted from the body, blue thunder and lightning, beating on the flesh. AI beside him also had a smile on his face. It is said that the people in Yunin village have no brains and rely on muscles to think. This transaction was very profitable. With a useless piece of news, not only did he get back the Uzumaki clan's sealing techniques, but he also let them see such a big show. Weaken Konoha and cause chaos in Konoha. He is simply a genius. Chapter 34. Back then, the second Hokage was the eternal nightmare of Cloud Hidden Village, until they signed a peace contract. Now, they can see the good show of killing each other, and they also hope to get back those disputed lands, including the Kingdom of Fields and the Kingdom of Iron, and they are naturally very happy. These two countries possess two important war preparation materials. One is food and the other is weapons. Yunin village also wants to obtain important materials from these two countries. They have no worries. The wars between the 5 major countries are rarely fought on the mainland of the 5 major countries. The existence of these small countries is itself a buffer zone for the 5 major ninja countries. They have plenty of patience and strength. The current division within Konoha village is their greatest advantage. The Third Hokage right to speak is in an absolute position in Cloud Hidden Village and the Kingdom of Thunder, and everything can be decided with one word. Third Hokage gave the order. Draw the power of the Kingdom of Rain and head to the Kingdom of Fields. Sand Hidden Village. A figure stands on top of the Kazekage building, feeling the wind and sand. This is a bald head. Half of his face is surrounded by a green dragon. His eyes are full of ambition, looking towards the direction of the Land of Fire. This person is Kazekage Samama from the 2nd generation, who is known as the ancestor of the resurgence of Sand Hidden Village. Researched the militarization of tailed beasts, studied shikaku in depth, and developed the magnet style, the puppet technique. Learned from Senju Tobirama and established Umbu, Ninja School, and other public institutions that are conducive to the inheritance of the village. Kazekage-sama. At his feet, Ebizo shouted respectfully. Tread. Second-generation Kazekage floated down from the roof. He nodded to Ebizo and walked into the Kazekage building. The architecture and decoration here are much simpler than the Hokage building. Kazekage-sama, as you expected, the initial news spread from the wooden castle. According to the spy's investigation, the structure of Konoha village is as rumored, with the Sarutobi family monopolizing most of Konoha's resources. If this continues without change, Konoha will become the treasure of the Sarutobi family. Ebizo reported with his head lowered, feeling a huge wave in his heart. While he was gloating about the misfortune, he was also worried about the current situation of Tsunagakure village. Many of the policies of Tsunagakure village were learned and copied from Senju Tobirama in the second-generation program Kazekage. Konoha village is like a mirror. You can see the future development direction of Tsunagakure village, like a control group. Don't worry too much. The difference between Tsunagakure village and Konoha village is that the ninja families in Tsunagakure village are very rare and do not have such abilities. This also reminds us that the future inheritance method cannot be the same as that of Konoha. The leader's character needs more consideration. I admire Senju Tobirama very much, but now it seems that he also made such a serious mistake. I still have time to do more things for Sand Hidden Village. After obtaining long-term survival resources, the villagers of Shine Village will not have to live so hard in the future. Second-generation Kazekage's tone is full of regrets, comforting Ebizo, an outstanding junior. Ebizo and Chiyo are the descendants he is very optimistic about, and the future of Tsunagakure village will depend on them to prosper and grow. For the future development of Tsunagakure village, the image crisis of Sarutobi Hiruzen that broke out this time is actually a good thing. He asked Ebizo to investigate because he didn't really believe the rumors in the ninja world, so he asked Ebizo to verify them. He personally participated in the 5 Kage conference after the first ninja war. At that time, he was following first-generation's Kazekage. Almost all second-generation Mekage attended the first 5 Kage conference as guards, except for the second Mizukage, who fell into a coma due to his chakra drying up and missed the first meeting of the 5 Kage, and was replaced by his disciple. Therefore, it is an unwritten rule that Ying's direct bodyguard inherits Ying's position. What is criticized about Hiruzen Sarutobi is that he failed to fulfill his responsibility to protect the Hokage, and also did dirty things secretly. The information spread by Senju Rope Tree is difficult to determine whether it is true or false. Whether true or false, Sand Hidden Village can profit from this, and can even replenish the barren territory of the Wind Country. He wants the Wind Country to get out of its current predicament. In the battle to destroy the country of Whirlpool, he did not gain any benefit at all, which made him a little unwilling. All this was because of the awkward geographical location of Sand Hidden Village. He wants to improve the plight faced by Tsunagakure village. Kazekage-sama, has your health gotten this bad? There was sadness in Ebizo's eyes. He saw the determination of second-generation's Kazekage, and the reason why he was so anxious to start the second ninja war was because he didn't have much time. The Samama who devoted his life to Tsunagakure village exuded the will to die. It doesn't matter, as long as we plan well, it will be enough to get the land and resources we want. Chiyo continues to fight on the battlefield of Rain Country. You go to the battlefield of Tian Country and muddy the situation. If I go to the kingdom of Sichuan personally, then you are my real purpose. Second-generation Kazekage's eyes are filled with relief. Being recognized by his juniors is what he yearns for. Arrange their respective tasks. This? I don't have any problem, but why did you choose the country of Sichuan? Ebizo was confused. I don't understand why second-generation Kazekage chose Kawa no Kuni as its target. Instead of the country of rain with abundant water resources, it is not the country of fields with abundant food resources. Don't be too greedy. In the kingdom of rain, various forces are intertwined. The local Sancho Hanzo, the unknown organization hiding in the dark, the Wagakure village, Kimogakure village, Konoha village, Kirigakure village, and almost all the forces in the entire ninja world are there. We only took advantage of Chiyo's poison skills for a short time, and it is impossible to occupy the land for a long time. It was destined to be a meat grinding ground. The location of Tian Country is several small villages away from Tsunagakure village. It is also impossible to occupy it for a long time. We must learn from the lessons of Takigakure village. Only the country of Sichuan has water and land resources that are not as good as those of the other two countries, but its location, just at the junction of us and the country of fire, is the best choice. Second-generation Kazekage has a tired look on his face and patiently answers his questions to the outstanding juniors in front of him. This is the last thing he can do for Tsunagakure village. After obtaining the land of Sichuan country, At least we will not fall into a food crisis. This war made him more aware of the importance of resources. Yes, a shrewd look flashed in Ebizo's eyes. Recalling the map and sphere of influence of the ninja world, as second-generation's Kazekage said, Kawa no Kuni is their best choice. Every other place is undercover. A big battle is needed to determine their outcome. Go. Protect yourself. Don't conflict with the Senju family. Second-generation Kazekage waved his hands with a tired look in his eyes. When Ebizo left, a scroll appeared in his hand. Senju Tobirama, your vision has become worse. The scroll was sent by Sarutobi Hiruzen to seek peace. It was the sealing techniques that their sand-hidden village needed most, at the cost of the Tian country that he had already decided to give up. Sunagakure village, taking over the country of Sichuan, has become a certainty. No matter what happens in this war, Sunagakure village will be the winner. They've got the land they want. Chiyo, Ebizo, Rosa, Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law are all talented people with film qualifications. As long as the new generation doesn't die young, the future will get better and better. But the reality is always not what people want. You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 35. Kirigakure Village. Overseas, there is also a village with many ninja families. For the matter of Sarutobi Hiruzen, a special meeting was held to warn him. You can't become like that in Konoha and cause quarrels. The conflicts among the families in Kirigakure village are even greater than those in Konoha village. The Onodan clan, the Terayuruchi clan, and many other powerful bloodline limited clans. Finally, a consensus was reached. They are digesting the results of the Whirlpool country, so there is no need to join the war now. When other countries lose both sides, they come in and benefit. Iwagakure village. Inoki mocked Hiruzen Sarutobi fiercely. Spreading the results of his previous battle with Hiruzen Sarutobi, he defeated Hiruzen Sarutobi with dust style. Enhance his reputation. Sarutobi Hiruzen is trying to fuse 3 or even 5 chakra attributes to create a blood inheritance beyond the dust style. The Iwagakure village maintains military restraint as a whole. No ninja army appeared on the battlefield, but those who can survive the Fourth Ninja War will always benefit from it. In the past few years, the Third Hokage has put far more pressure on Iwagakure than Hiruzen Sarutobi, his defeated general. They are also on guard against Kirigakure village. His teacher, Second Hokage Wu, died together with Second Mizukage Kiden Jinzuki during the First Ninja War. The two villages also have hatred. 3 days later, the Senju clan arrives at the battlefield of Tian no Kuni. At this time, the strength of the Senju clan has been enhanced. The Senju Rope Tree uses the characteristics of the bloodline complementation system to separate all the materials on hand and integrate them into the bodies of the Senju ninjas to complement and enhance their qualifications. After some operations, the number of Jonin in the Senju clan reached 30, and the number of Chonin was over 100. It's a pity that due to fear of Uchiha Madara, I didn't continue to help people awaken with style. It's enough for the time being. This is the strength of the Senju clan who arrived in Tian country this time. The residents of the Senju clan. The buildings built by Senju Doma using wood style are particularly easy to use. The most central location is a large conference room, which can accommodate more than 30 Jonin from the Senju clan. Senju Rope Tree is sitting in the main seat. Behind him are 2 huge maps. One is a map of the ninja world, and the other is a detailed map of Tian country. Everyone on the field looked unhappy and might explode at any time. Only Senju, who used the wooden golem technique to transform his index finger, knocked on the table without making any sound. It's really unreasonable. The daimyo of Tian country did not come in person, but only sent a small diplomat. Senju Dojian's face was full of anger, as if he had been insulted in some way, and there was a flash of embarrassment. In the past, he came alone to convey the orders of the Senju clan, and the daimyo of Tainokuni also accompanied him with a shy face. Now that their clan leader, Senju Nizuki, has arrived, the daimyo of Tian country did not greet him. They had already anticipated Tian Jigua's attitude, and they were still angry in their hearts. According to the agreement between Tian Jigua and the Senju clan, they will prepare half of the food for the Senju clan to dispose of. This is the reward for the Senju family to improve their land and environment. The Senju clan will also give half of the proceeds from selling food to Ta no Kuni. This is equivalent to taking away nearly 30% of the grain. Now, Tian Jigua betrays this covenant. Clan leader, based on the intelligence we collected, the daimyo of Ta no Kuni, who is accompanying the envoy from Konoha village, is actually a ninja from the Sarutobi clan and the Inarakacho clan. A deal has been reached, and 70% of this year's food will be sold to Konoha village at a low price. Senju Sato narrowed his eyes and whispered Kaido. In my heart, I was equally disdainful of what the daimyo of Tian country had done. The country of Tian used to be able to achieve what it has today under the protection of their Senju clan. Now he bites back and refuses even the most basic dignity to the Senju clan. At this time, he stabs the Senju clan in the back and offers his loyalty to the Sarutobi clan. He originally wanted to plead for Tian Jigwa, but gave up his thoughts. When a dog has a new owner, it will bite the old owner. Senju Shengshu shook his head, his eyes full of sternness. Everyone on the field felt a cold breath sweeping through their bodies. I couldn't help but sit upright, stop talking, and listen to Senju's orders. There are 6 major food production areas in Tianji country, not for food, but for establishing prestige. 6 places, the ninjas stationed in Konoha village, this time focused on attacking the ninjas of the Inorika butterfly family. Senju straightened his expression and gave the order. On the huge map of Tian country, the scope of the granary was demarcated and a huge cross was made. The order given was a bit strange, focusing on attacking the ninjas of the Inarakacho family, not the ninjas of the Sarutobi family. On the one hand, it alienates the relationship between the two parties. On the other hand, the ninja corpses of the Inarakacho family can be extracted into a relatively single and precious chakra attribute group, which is beneficial to the growth of the Senju clan. Since you want to be the lackey of the Sarutobi clan, you have to bear the price. Chief, where are the grains? Do you want to bring them back? Senju Dojian raised his eyes and asked. In the eyes of the older generation, food is the most important resource. No need, destroyed on the spot. The less food there is, the greater the power of the Senju family's voice. Senju Rope Tree shook his head. Scarcity is an important attribute of food. Yes. Some ninjas had doubts in their eyes, but they followed Senju's orders without hesitation. All the ninjas in the Senju camp began to organize their equipment and let Tian Jigwa know the price of betraying the Senju clan. No one can protect the country of Tian who betrayed the Senju clan and take away the food belonging to the Senju clan. One day later, the 6 major grain-producing areas of Tianji country were destroyed one after another. The food that was to be handed over to Konoha this time was all burned. The Sarutobi clan and the Inakacho clan reacted quickly, collecting other grains and preparing to transport them to the Leaf village. These grains were originally kept by Tian country and were looted by Konoha. The daimyo and citizens of Ta no Kuni only had a small amount of rations left, and they had to tighten their belts in the next year. This was the price of joining the Sarutobi family, and they felt extremely bitter in their hearts, feeling regretful, but it is of no use. Boarding the pirate ship will only lead to darkness. Are you still worried about the revenge of the Senju clan? Is it really that simple, or? Chapter 36. As expected, there was a rift between the Sarutobi clan and the Inakacho clan, but they were not noticed for a short period of time. In this attack, the Inakacho family suffered heavy losses, while the Sarutobi family suffered minimal losses due to Senju Nawaki's orders and cautious behavior. Escorting the remaining half of the food, they nervously left Tianji country without encountering any hindrance. This surprised the ninjas of Konoha. They have discovered that the ninjas who attack them are from the Senju clan. After the battle in Muzasheng, the two sides had completely broken up with each other. Why were they allowed to leave with food? They brought precious food back to Konoha, brought information back, and waited for Sarutobi Hiruzen's orders, leaving a small number of ninjas to protect Tian country. This is the real purpose of Senju Rope Tree. He never cares about food, but what originally belongs to the Senju clan. The Senju Rope Tree has burned the Senju clan's food share, and the next step is to punish the betrayers. Also, the most precious thing in the land of fields is the fertile land. These lands were able to produce such a large amount of food because of the work of the Senju Hashirama wood style and the Senju clan who are good at the earth style. They used chakra and hard work to change the landscape and nutritional content. After such a war, the country of Tian was left in a mess. The country of Tian, which was originally prosperous, only had a small amount of food rations left. The daimyo was immersed in endless regret. Their country can only hope for a good harvest in the coming year. How could Senju Rope Tree give Tai no Kuni a chance? Konoha's team left from the ancient road in the north of the Land of Fire. Senju Nashu and Senju Doma stood at a high place and watched them leave. Under their feet was a mountain made of gravel, which looked like it might collapse at any time. Senju Dojian's eyes were filled with confusion. This was a bit advantageous for the ninjas of the Sarutobi clan. They were able to escape unscathed and take away the coveted food. Clan leader, will you let them go so easily? I don't know when. Senju Doma has changed his title. He no longer regards Senju Naoki as a junior, but as a clan leader who can shoulder the responsibilities of the Senju clan. Watching the departure of the Sarutobi clan, I was worried that the Sarutobi clan would bring down the whole of Konoha. At that time, the Senju clan would not be as relaxed as they are now when facing the whole of Konoha. What they took away was food belonging to Tianjigwa. The misfortune of Tianjigwa was all due to the wrong choice of the daimyo. If just killing these people is not enough to form a deterrent, what I want is to destroy the entire Tian country. Senju Rope Tree squatted down and grabbed a handful of sand. The land here has not been transformed by Senju Hashirama and the Senju clan, and is not suitable for growing food at all. This is also the original land of Tian country. Destroy the kingdom of Tian? Let the kingdom of Tian continue to rely on us? I'm afraid our strength is not enough. A look of astonishment flashed across Senju Dojian's eyes. The current Tian country is a bit useless, which is a drag on the Senju clan. It will take a year before there will be new food output. His eyes were fixed on the handful of sand in Senju's hand, as if it was holding his heart. How could food grow in such soil? He seemed to understand something in his heart. During this time, he was also walking on the land of Tian country. The black land was completely different from the sand in the hands of the Senju Rope Tree. Only then did I recall that all this was the result of their Senju clan. This black soil is fertile land formed by the decay of trees. It was originally dominated by Senju Hashirama, and the whole Senju clan was mobilized to change the country of Tian. In the kingdom of Tian, there is no need to control it. If you can betray it once, you can betray it a second time, and the power in your hands is not enough. Sand Hidden Village and Cloud Hidden Village are ready to enter. After the Sarutobi clan returns to Konoha, a new ninja army will arrive within 3 days. There is no need for the Senju clan to die on such a chaotic battlefield. What they want is fertile land. Turn them back into barren land, and restore them to what they once were. The entire Tian country will return to its previous state of starvation. It will no longer be a major food producer and a battleground between the shinobu villages. It will only be a buffer zone between Kumogakure village and Konoha battlefield. Senju Nashu threw away the sand and soil in his hands, and patiently explained to Senju Doma. Such a method not only demonstrates the power of the Senju clan, but also without a food-producing area, the Senju clan's voice will be stronger. Everything he did was to get back what once belonged to the Senju clan from the betrayers. The food burned this time also belonged to the Senju clan. The rations for the citizens of Tian country taken away by Konoha. If the daimyo of Tian country wants to suffer the people of his country, then he will continue to suffer. Let's see if they can persevere after leaving the Senju clan. This? Senju Dojian's heart was shocked, his pupils shrank, and his throat trembled. If Tian country really returns to the time when there was no transformation, then less than 1/10 of the population of Tian country will remain. The land here was not as good as the land of Sand Hidden Village. I kept deducing what Senju said in my mind. With the wood style level of the two of them, they can achieve the effect mentioned by Senju Roden, returning the land of fields to the barren land. Even if their current wood style level is not as good as Senju Hashirama, destruction is always easier than construction. The consequence of this is that the country of fields will no longer be a country rich in products, but a barren country that cannot even feed itself. Follow the clan leader's orders. After just a moment of hesitation, Senju Doma made his decision. Those who betray will eventually pay the price. They gave Tian's Higuo many opportunities, but they didn't cherish them. Grandpa 6, you can use this opportunity to become more proficient in wood style. The wood style of my great-grandfather Senju Hashirama was used to build the country and transform the environment. He helps the country of fields, the country of fire, and transforms the land and environment to be more suitable for human survival, which is practicing his way of tolerance. The wood style of the two of us needs to find its own path. You observed the plants in the ninja world some time ago and found a mutated Venus flytrap, which fits your path very well. You can try to develop in this direction. Senju looked at the rope tree in the distance, looking at the mountains and clouds in the ninja world. He always felt that he was incompatible with himself. Then he withdrew his thoughts and spoke softly to Senju Doma. What Senju Hashirama did was recognized as great by the ninja world, but this greatness was a harm to the Senju clan. Now that he wants to destroy the miracle Senju Hashirama once created, he feels a little disappointed. He is not as great as Senju Tujian. He just wants to protect himself and the Senju family, and make those who have hurt him and betrayed him pay the price. Starting from erasing the influence of Senju Hashirama, He and Senju Tobirama's thoughts and actions that are not conducive to the Senju clan village must be corrected one by one. Chapter 37. Haha. Patriarch, you don't have to call me that in the future. You must maintain your dignity. There are some things that I haven't told you clearly. It is recorded in the family that only by finding your own way of ninja and practicing your own way of ninja can you break through a limitation, which is a kind of transcendence. According to Hashirama and Madara, it is the super shadow. I found my own way of tolerance very early to protect and develop my family. However, in the process of practicing it, I encountered obstacles and was never able to go any further. Now with your guidance, I have surpassed myself and formed my own style by combining the unique techniques of wood style. The strength is also increasing rapidly. Senju laughed. He was very happy about the name Senju Rope Tree, but he could not continue like this. The patriarch of a family must maintain his dignity. He is the inheritance elder and the elder of the Senju Rope Tree. He must maintain the dignity of the patriarch. Only in this way can the Senju family go further. He also explained some ninja secrets to Senju Rope Tree. His current strength may not be as good as the peak Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, but he is already above Sancho Hanzo and can easily deal with 1 or 2 Kages. His style is just like that of the Senju Rope Tree, similar to the Venus flytrap. Once anyone has his thoughts on the Senju clan, he will strangle him. He will protect the Senju clan and the Senju Rope Tree at all costs. I'm a little arrogant. If I have time, I need to take a look at the family's collection of books. Senju frowned slightly, then relaxed, and the corners of his mouth turned up slightly. During this period, he was a little superior. After Senju Doma's reminder, he realized that this world is also full of geniuses. There are not only the reincarnations of Azura and Indra, but also various heroes, such as weirdos like Senju Tobirama, Izanami, and Izanagi of Uchiha. This is only in Konoha. The ninja world is even wider. All kinds of strange techniques and all kinds of strange people may cause harm to him and affect his people. It must be taken seriously. Touching his right arm, he felt a little regretful. You shouldn't have gotten involved in the situation and framed Sarutobi Shinosuke in the first place. After dealing with the affairs of Tianjigua, he must let his body undergo transformation and regenerate his severed limbs as soon as possible. In this form, his strength is limited. You are very welcome. So that I can fulfill my responsibility as an inheritance elder. Senju Doma smiled happily, as if he saw the future glory of the Senju clan. As an inheritance elder, he has failed to fulfill his responsibilities. Due to Konoha's suppression for so many years, the teachings and resources Senju Nezumi has received are far less than those of a girl like Tsunade, who has not received the orthodox training of a clan leader. But in his heart, Senju is an increasingly mature and qualified patriarch. Start taking action. The two of us will have to work harder these days. This plant may be able to help us. After my observation, it has strong vitality, strong fertility, and is poisonous. It is only suitable for growing in the country of fields. It will also destroy the water and soil. If we destroy some of the giant wood-style trees that were left behind to improve the land, the situation in the country of fields will regress to the next year. Those wood-style giant trees have an extraordinary impact on the land of Tian country, and only wood style can have some impact on them. Senju Rope Tree narrowed his eyes slightly, said with a chuckle, and took out a handful of seeds in his hand. They were prickly seeds the size of sesame seeds. Everything is for the Senju clan. These are the seeds of tumbleweeds, which were once a pest in the land of fields. It was Hashirama who used wood style to stop them from growing and disappearing. Where did you find them? Senju picked up the soil, looked at it carefully, and used the wood style chakra to check the status of the tumbleweed seeds. He has experienced the era when the Senju clan transformed the land country, and is very aware of the trouble caused by tumbleweeds. It was Senju Hashirama who used wood style to limit the continued reproduction of tumbleweeds. Now they use wood style to let tumbleweeds bloom again on the land of Tian country, which can be regarded as tit for tat. He was just curious about how Senju Rope Tree discovered tumbleweed seeds. Guidelines for wood style characteristics. Senju's mouth curved slightly, and he spoke with a hint of frankness. Senju Doma's belief is to protect the Senju clan. This belief is projected into wood style's fighting method. Just like the originally woven cage, it is both guardian and protection. Senju's belief is a kind of self-righteous fairness in his perception. It may be a narrow-minded existence, using all means. This belief was projected into Senju's style of behavior, and when he was thinking of ways to destroy Tian country, he was guided by wood style. Found two things. One is Senju Hashirama, a wood-style creation that once remained in the land of fields, a giant tree that stabilizes the soil. One is the endangered tumbleweed. Senju Rope Tree makes a decision. Destroy the wood-style creations left by Senju Hashirama and let the tumbleweeds return to the land of Tian country. After everything is completed, let the Senju clan change the terrain of Tian country again, returning to the terrain where even monkeys could fall to death, just like the rocky mountains they are stepping on now. If the Sarutobi clan and Konoha want this kind of land, give it to them. Other forces are the same. Let them remember that without the Senju clan, the country of fields would still have another name, the country of gravel. In the past 2 days, Tian Jigwa fell into an eerie silence. The daimyo of Tian country, Itada, was frightened during this period and was always on guard against the Senju clan's counterattack, but it was a false alarm. I was glad for my choice in my heart. The honest tradition of the Senju clan made him feel lucky. Only by taking refuge in the new ruler of Konoha can Tian country continue to survive, and their Sakata family can achieve greater development. He has received permission from the Sarutobi family to move a branch of the clan to live in Konoha. Clan members with ninja talents can also enter ninja schools. Become a commoner of Konoha. I have to say that Sarutobi Hiruzen is so sophisticated. There was an important factor that controlled the public opinion of Konoha village in the following decades. The civilians in Konoha village had already changed many times. These civilians are all affiliated with their families. Just like the Sakata family, they received the favor of Hiruzen Sarutobi to enter Konoha, so they love him so much. The daimyo of Tian country did not realize his mistake at all. Until the new representative of Konoha village arrived, it turned out to be Tsunade. The name of Tian Jigwa is treated with caution, but he is confident in his heart. No matter what, someone needs to plant the fields, and someone needs to take care of the harvest and gather the grain for them. He realized that he was in an embarrassing situation at the moment, and now he wanted Tsunade to enter the scene because he wanted peace talks. As long as he controls the land of Tian country, the cheap labor force of Tian country, and the right to distribute food, he can still take the initiative and remain a partner of the Sarutobi clan. You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 38. Tsunade was not aggressive, but was very indifferent to him, looking for traces of the Senju Rope Tree everywhere. He recalled the instructions of the Third Hokage, hoping to ease the relationship between the Senju clan and Konoha, and felt a little happy in his heart. Sakata Ichi also helped Tsunade search, thinking this was an opportunity to ease the relationship between the two parties. He also didn't want to have one more enemy. It would be the best result if the Senju clan could be allowed to leave voluntarily. After a search, no one from the Senju clan was found, but instead people from the Cloud Hidden Village and Sunagakure Village were found. Just when a conflict was about to occur, the real commander behind the Konoha ninja army appeared, Mito Kadini of the Konoha Elders. Only then did Tsunade realize that her position in Konoha was not a so-called leader, but a tool used to relieve the Senju clan. The person who really coordinated the events in Tian country was the elder Mito Manabu. Konoha's intelligence agency should have received news of the arrival of Sand Hidden Village and Kumo Hidden Village early. There is a possibility that before the Senju clan and even Tian country were unaware of the situation, they had already divided the cake of Tian country. Under the mediation of Mito Minyan, several parties gathered together to prepare for negotiations. The meaning of Tsunade's existence is to use her identity to exclude the Senju clan. The 7th day that the Senju clan settled in Tian country, Senju Roden and Senju Doma almost ran across the entire field country and cleared out all wood-style creations. Without the containment of wood-style's creation, the seeds of tumbleweed will sweep across the entire kingdom of fields again in a short period of time. Other ninjas of the Senju clan are waiting for orders from the Senju Rope Tree and are preparing to change the landscape of Tian country. In the Diamond Mansion of Tian country, a meeting to decide the fate of Tian country is being held. Itada was not depressed, but was extremely excited. The more people chasing him, the more secure he felt. Even if he is a daimyo, he has already adapted to how to compromise in the politics of a great power. This is what he is best at, surviving in the cracks. With multiple forces interested in Tian Jigwa, he was able to fight for the greatest interests for himself. In the end, the people who were injured were only the citizens of Tian Jigwa and had nothing to do with him. The entire Tian kingdom, under the intervention of big powers, is not qualified to decide its own destiny. Several major forces arrived one after another, and he was happy to entertain them. Ebizo of Sunagakure village was once the main customer of Tano Kuni. A large part of Ta no Kuni's food was sold to Sunagakure Village and Wind Country. AI from Cloud Hidden Village represents the Kingdom of Thunder, which is adjacent to the Kingdom of Tian. Even if there is no affiliation, when it was once protected by the Senju clan, it still had to hand over 10% of its food. This is the tragedy of a small country. Konoha Village is a special existence. Now he has joined the Sarutobi clan in Konoha Village in name, and in fact because the Sarutobi clan cannot withstand the impact of the Senju clan and has found a bigger backer in Konoha for him. Mito Minyan represents the interests of Konoha Village. Among them, the special existence of Tsunade is to ease the conflict with the Senju clan to some extent. Unfortunately, the Senju clan is still not present. Regardless of Tsunade's expression, Mito Kaden announced the start of the meeting. Konoha Village has already formulated a strategy to exclude the Senju clan from the interest field of Tian country, and for this reason, they even did not hesitate to give up some of their interests to two other countries that may be enemies. The daimyo of Tainokuni, receiving Mito Monahan's look, announced the start of the meeting. Outside Daming Mansion, Senju Nashu and Senju Doma looked at the building. In the center is a huge tree, which is also the last tree that suppresses the national destiny of Tian country. Patriarch, this is the last wood-style creation in the Kingdom of Tian, and it is also the most powerful wood-style creation. Hashirama once said that it symbolizes the friendship between Tian country and the Senju clan. Senju Dojian looked up, feeling a little sad in his heart. This big tree that needs to be surrounded by nearly 10 people represents the influence of the Senju clan in its heyday. Senju Hashirama led the Senju clan to transform the environment and transform the barren country of gravel that was unsuitable for survival into the country of rich fields. It was a great miracle. Now, it is a stepping stone that prevents the Senju clan from rising again. He made a judgment on Tian Jigua in his heart, and Tian Jigua, who was treacherous, let him retreat back to the barren land. I can feel that I am still far behind the peak of Grandpa's wood style. Senju Rope Tree also looked up at this giant tree. The huge crown of the tree is like a green umbrella, allowing Daming Few to always maintain a comfortable environment. This giant tree can regulate the surrounding natural energy, making people living around it live longer and making the surrounding plants more energetic. At this moment, Senju Naoshu realized the gap between himself and Senju Zhu. The wood style of Senju Rope Tree has reached the intermediate level in the system. Compared with the power of Senju Hashirama, the gap between ants and humans is like that. Unconsciously, I began to use known information to measure the gap between the two. The elementary wood style is similar to the blood inheritance limit formed by the fusion of two chakras. It is the level of Baizetsu and can use the cutting technique and other low-level wood style ninjutsu. The intermediate wood style is similar to the bloody elimination formed by the fusion of three chakras, and the power is similar to the dust style. It is his current level and can use most of the wood style ninjutsu, but it lacks a unique vitality. In the plot, Yamato's wood style is similar to his current one. The advanced wood style is the three common chakra attributes: earth plus water plus yang plus special immortal body. The blood succession limit formed by it is the current level of Senju Earth. It has its own characteristics and can be wielded like an arm. For example, the cage used by Senju Doma combines the characteristics of the giant flytrap, instills its own ideas, and develops special skills. Senju Hashirama's wood style: earth plus water plus thunder plus wind plus fire plus yang, only missing the Yin attribute chakra, has transcended the advanced level and turned into a special plant that is alive and capable of reproduction. Even if you leave Senju Hashirama, you can still survive in the ninja world. Whether it's deep forest creation or Buddha transformation on top, these moves have become legendary. One step closer, adding the Yin attribute chakra may be the source of all power in the ninja world, the sacred tree. With the current knowledge of Senju Rope Tree, there is no way to carry out specific quantification. We can only vaguely sense this evolutionary route. We need to go further to have a deeper understanding. Unconsciously, Senju Naoki thought a lot, and was awakened by Senju Doma. Clan leader, there is no need to hesitate or be soft-hearted. They have left the Senju clan behind and started a new round of profit distribution. The traitors should get the punishment they deserve. Senju Dojian thought Senju Nasuki was hesitant and opened his mouth to persuade. The image of Senju Rope Tree in the past was too benevolent, and Konoha Village specially asked Tsunade to come to put pressure on Senju Rope Tree and add to the suffering of the citizens of Tian country. Maybe you will choose to take a step back. This retreat also weakened the Senju clan's actions to intimidate the entire ninja world. This is not the outcome the Senju clan wants. It's time for the ninja world to re-understand the code of conduct of the Senju clan. Just blindly seeking peace, blindly being weak, and not getting any respect. Senju's eyes flashed with determination as he walked towards the giant tree in the center of Daming Mansion. Chapter 39. In the conference room of Daming Mansion, several forces fell into a strange stalemate, as if they were playing a drama. Mito Minin of Konoha Hidden Village and AI of Kumogakure Village refused to give in to each other and had equal control over the resources produced in Tainokuni. The two of them did not care about the daimyo of Tainokuni at all, nor did they care about Ebizo of Sunagakure Village. The daimyo of Tianjigwa stood aside slightly embarrassed, not even qualified to sit down. He smiled and waited for the results of the two parties' discussion. From time to time, he adds water to Ebizo, hoping to get Ebizo, who is also one of the 5 great ninja villages, to join the fight. Even the bottom of the 5 great ninja villages can influence both sides and mediate. Only the 5 great ninja villages are qualified to interfere with the 5 great ninja villages. This farce needs to end. Ebizo closed his eyes and rested at the side. The old god listened to everything that happened in front of him comfortably and paid no attention to the name of Tian no Kuni. Before coming, second-generation Kazekage had already given a clear goal, and their real goal was Kawa no Kuni. Tianjigwa is just a cover. The former country of Taki taught them a lesson. Even if it was rich in resources, such a complex political situation and geographical location could not be controlled by the strength of Sunagakure Village. Ebizo admires Samama more and more for being able to find a way for Sand Hidden Village. Glancing at Tsunade aside, he did not expect that Tsunade would come from the battlefield of the country of rain to the country of fields to conduct this negotiation that was already destined to result. Tsunade has moved away from the battlefield of the land of rain, and his sister Chiyo's poisonous skills will play the greatest role in creating a world for Sunagakure Village. Is this a compromise made by Sarutobi Hiruzen of Konoha Village? Sealing techniques, Tsunade who restrains the poison technique? Is it really so bottomless? A ninja who sacrificed his country? Ebizo couldn't understand. He recalled Samama's instructions and continued to let the farce continue. Maybe in the end, there will be unexpected benefits. With the weakness of the daimyo of Tian country, the concession of Sarutobi Hiruzen of Konoha Village, and the aggressiveness of Kumogakure Village, there is always a need for a mediator. I couldn't help but start my own beautiful imagination. Finally, Tsunade couldn't help it. Even as a member of the Leaf Village, I felt that the two people in front of me looked too ugly. Konoha Hidden Village wants half of the resource output, and Kumo Hidden Village wants half of the resource output, even if Sunagakure Village doesn't want anything. What about the rights and interests of the Senju clan in Tian country? Is that a jointly signed covenant? She began to fight for Tianjigwa. Is Tai no Kuni a cow that can express milk without eating grass? Don't they have to continue to survive? Tsunade didn't understand the art of negotiation at all. Shut up, everyone. Click. Tsunade punched the desk in the conference room. The solid wooden table, which was 10 meters long, 3 meters wide and 2 meters thick, was broken in the middle. Debris flew everywhere, interrupting the negotiation between Mito Kadoyan and AI. Mito Minion's face darkened. He looked at Tsunade dissatisfied and almost growled. Tsunade, you need to know your identity. AI's face was full of pity, as if a dispensable game had been interrupted. Originally, he had been teasing Mito Kadoyan. If Yunin Village's style has the upper hand, it will gain the greatest benefits. This time's negotiation was more like a compromise by Sarutobi Hiruzen, who disclosed all the benefits and bottom line to Kumoin Village early on. It is impossible for Kumogakure to achieve the same results as Konoha. He wants to strive for the greatest benefit for Yunin Village and weaken the strength of Konoha Village. What would it look like if Konoha Village, which was once the most fertile and had the most abundant food, entered a state of food shortage? Really want to see this result? The strange secret technique of the Senju clan? I have some strength. Let's discuss it when we have time. AI smiled and clenched his fists. He also practiced Nintai Jutsu and was somewhat interested in Tsunade's outburst just now. With that kind of strength, he was qualified to fight him. Have you forgotten that these things from Tian country should be part of the Senju clan? Tsunade asked sullenly. No matter what, she is a member of the Senju clan, and from the moment the country was founded, an alliance was made with the food output of Tian country to be part of the Senju clan. It is clear that the food trade is the main source of the Senju clan's economic foundation. Losing this part of the food trade would have a negative impact on the Senju clan. Ebizo, who was closing his eyes to rest, opened his eyes, with a trace of contempt flashing in his eyes. The rumors in the ninja world are really not credible at all. According to the information spread in Konoha, Tsunade is a genius that only happens once in a century, and the Senju Rope Tree is a piece of mud that cannot hold up the wall. But now it seems that Tsunade is the one who really can't hold up the wall. Not only did he stand in Konoha's negotiating team, he also had no way to fight for the interests of his family. This is simply the behavior of a traitor. Still so naive, trying to ease the conflict between the Senju clan and Konoha. Konoha has already betrayed the Senju clan, or sold them to forces that may be enemies. There is another important reason why Ebizo does not fight, that is, he does not believe that the Senju Rope Tree will give up the interests of Tian country so easily. When he was in the Wooden City, he had seen Senju's methods. He is not like a kind-hearted, positive, passionate idiot like the rumors in the ninja world, but more like a thoughtful and extremely ruthless hunter, ready to kill with one blow at any time. In the brief conversation between Mujiching and Senju Nose Tree, Senju Nose Tree did not value the food of Tiano country so much. Just as the Senju clan burned food, not only did they not suffer any loss, but the price of food skyrocketed. Sunagakure village has already received news of the increase in food. Even so, he still hopes that the Senju clan can win. After all, more than half of their war preparation food comes from the Senju clan. The Senju clan will not sell food to Konoha. The country of Tian is retaliated against, which will weaken the strength of Konoha Hidden Village and Kumo Hidden Village. Tsunade, Tainokuni has the right to choose his own partner. The Senju clan no longer has the strength to continue to protect the country of Tian. It will only destroy the country of Tian and bring misfortune to the country of Tian. We are helping the country of Tian to survive in a more stable and harmonious way. It's the country of Tian that chose Konoha. It chose Kumogakure village. It chose Sunagakure village. Mito Monoyen turned his head and lectured in an elder's tone. Pull Cloud Hidden Village and Sand Hidden Village into your own camp. AI and Ebizo looked at Mito Minion with disdain at the same time, as if asking, are you giving up the last bit of shame? You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 40. Mito Kaiden's eyes were fixed on the daimyo of Tainokuni, asking him to express his position. Wanatada was startled by Mito Kabuto's gaze, and woke up suddenly. His heart seemed to have stopped beating, and 2 beads of sweat the size of soybeans oozed from his forehead and dripped on the ground. He said hesitantly, Princess Tsunade, the Senju clan has declined. This is a fact recognized by the ninja world. Tian Jigwa is grateful for the contribution of the Senju family, but the Senju family is no longer qualified to continue to be Tian Jigwa's collaborators. As Elder Mito Monobu said, the 5 major ninja nations are the best choice. Konoha village is more suitable for the current Tian country. At the beginning, Itada stuttered a bit, but in the end, his words were full of pride. He didn't feel that betrayal was a shame, but felt that he had made the right choice. Sakata's attitude surprised everyone. Mito Kaiden was very satisfied that he could stand unswervingly on Konoha's side at this time, and he spoke so openly, and also involved Sunagakure village and Kumogakure village. With the statement of the Dai no Kuni daimyo, the future distribution method will be decided by them. AI from Cloud Hidden Village and Ebizo from Sand Hidden Village also focused their attention on the daimyo of Tainokuni. Such a person can take shamelessness as a matter of course. He is really a talent. Just like the politicians in their country, he despises it from the bottom of his heart. Appearing in other countries can bring them huge benefits. Tsunade was filled with anger and had nowhere to vent. Being able to take betrayal so naturally, he wanted to accuse him, but he didn't have any position. Now she appears in Tian country as a ninja of Konoha village. My heart is full of disappointment towards Konoha village. Itada, have you forgotten that the country of Tian is what it is today, all thanks to the Senju family? Why did you ask me to come this time? Tsunade roared angrily, clenching her fists and preparing to take action. What he said was not as beautiful as what Sakata said, and there was a feeling of self-pity and self-pity. Only then did he realize that he was not the same person as the daimyo of Konoha and Tian country, and was only suitable for fighting as a ninja. I accidentally caught a glimpse of Ebizo, and felt a sense of bitterness in my heart. On the battlefield of the Kingdom of Rain, Chiyo's poisonous technique is exerting unimaginable power. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked him to withdraw from the battlefield of Rain country and come to Tian country to participate in negotiations. He originally thought it was to ease the conflict with the Senju clan and play a role. Now it seems that he is just a victim. While talking, Tsunade's pupils shrank to the size of green beans, and the whites of her eyes occupied the entire eye sockets. He seemed to understand something. She is Hiruzen Sarutobi, the tool used to restrain the Senju Rope Tree. The corners of his mouth curved down, revealing a bitter smile. The clenched fists in his hands were also released. Itada looked at Tsunade with a look of pity, and then became extremely determined. He convinced himself with his own reasons. Tsunade-sama, the Senju clan will always be friends of Tian country. But in the country of Tian, we cannot accompany the Senju clan to die. Decades of cooperation and decades of benefits are enough to repay the debt of the Senju clan. Tian Jigwa does not owe the Senju clan anything, and you should not continue to entangle it. The Senju clan that betrayed Konoha was destined to decline. There was no fear of Tsunade in Sakata's words, which turned into a kind of preaching. He does not think that Tian Jigwa owes the Senju clan a favor. The Senju clan has become a burden. The previous alliance was a gift from their land to the Senju clan. Now they have firmly stood for Konoha. Good. It makes sense. Konoha is the strongest support of Tian country. The current changes in Tian country are that Konoha is taking back its own industry. The Senju family has taken advantage of Konoha's majesty and enjoyed too much of Konoha's protection, but they do not want to repay Konoha. Now that Konoha has been betrayed, these benefits should continue to be enjoyed by Konoha. Mito Kadoba's face was full of smiles, and he praised Sakata's choice. No wonder Sarutobi Hiruzen told him before he came to try to save Itada, who turned out to be Konoha's most loyal partner. They also need a white glove and a legitimate reason to fight for Konoha's legitimate interests. Sakata, whose family has already entered Konoha, is the best choice. Oh! AI from Cloud Hidden Village and Ebizo from Sand Hidden Village sneered at the same time. They looked at each other and shook their heads. He looked down upon Itada, who betrayed his country's interests. I see. Tsunade slumped down on a chair nearby. Looking around the conference room, I realized that he was the one who didn't understand anything. She is the outsider in this conference room, used to control the Senju clan and the Senju Rope Tree. She should reconsider her relationship with Konoha. Everyone, let's get down to the topic. I believe that the daimyo of Tian country will support the outcome we have negotiated. A trace of pride flashed in Mito Kadoyan's eyes, and he spoke to AI and Ebizo. Tsunade is just a tool. If he has fully understood his position, then his mission can be completed smoothly. Just suffer the Senju clan and the country of Tian, sacrifice them, and give the ninja world a chance for peace. According to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Konoha only needs 30% of its food output, which is enough to deal with various situations. From the perspective of strength, Konoha has the strength to win more things. Some of the interests sacrificed are still the interests of insignificant people. To appease the Cloud Hidden Village and Sunagakure Village and help Konoha deal with the Senju clan is the best result. 40% of Kumogakure Village, 30% of Konohagakure Village, 20% of Sunagakure Village, and 10% of Tano Kuni. That's it. AI from Yunin Village was tired of this kind of game and came up with a distribution plan. Mito Kadoyan thought for a long time, nodded gently, and agreed to the distribution plan of Yunin Village. Even though they have lost the dominance of Tian country, their goal has been achieved, excluding the Senju clan from the profit distribution party. Ebizo was confused. Could such a good thing really happen? He frowned and became silent, feeling that things would not be so simple. The daimyo of Taino Kuni had a bitter look on his face. Such a distribution method is extremely unreasonable and unexpected. The purpose of introducing more competitors was to benefit Tian country, but it did not achieve the desired results. I did not expect Konoha to be so weak. Konoha village is not as powerful as expected, and the benefits gained by Tian Jigwa are not as good as when they cooperated with the Senju clan. Only in a daze did he realize that the people in front of him were representatives of the 5 great ninja nations, and he had no right to resist. The fortunate thing is that Konoha village promised him personal benefits, enough for him to sell his country. To cover up the guilt in my heart for the country and my apology to the Senju clan. With a false smile on his face, he did not dare to resist in the face of the bandits who were dividing the country of Tian. The gloomy-looking Tsunade on the side had a sarcastic smile on her face, as if asking, "Is this the more suitable choice you said? Sign the covenant." Mito Kadenian took out the already prepared covenant from nowhere, and was about to sign it without modifying the above content. Tsunade looked at the scene in front of her in disbelief. Such harsh conditions were put forward in such a ridiculous way, and everyone acquiesced. He remembered Senju Tobirama's words. "Little Tsunade, if you want anything to happen, your efforts must come before it happens." I remember that at that time, it was Senju Tobirama who forced Uchiha Madara to leave Konoha, and no one from Uchiha's clan followed him. You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 41. This negotiation was about to succeed, and only Tsunade was in despair. Others are already preparing to sign the absurd covenant in front of them. Mito Gateyin in Konoha Hidden Village. AI from Yunin Village. Ebizo of Sunagakure Village. The name of Atada of Tian Country. The four of them approached, formed a circle, and carefully read the covenant that had been prepared. Everyone else's eyes fell on Mito Monoyen, their eyes full of doubts. What on earth is Konoha doing? Already so unbearable, betraying the interests of allies? His eyes fell on Tsunade beside him, and he had the answer in his mind. It was to deal with the Senju clan. Recalling the information about Hiruzen Sarutobi that was circulated before, you are indeed worthy of being so unscrupulous and betraying the interests of your allies. It is a tragedy to be under his leadership and a blessing to his village. Please. Mito Minyan was stung by a few glances, and he cheered up and said. He somewhat admired Hiruzen Sarutobi's political vision and his ability to predict the bottom line of all parties. AI couldn't help laughing. He also didn't expect that Konoha Hidden Village would agree to such harsh conditions. Cloud Hidden Village and Konoha Hidden Village agreed that Sand Hidden Village and Tian Country were just incidental witnesses. If necessary, they could even exclude these two countries. In order to avoid accidents, pick up the pin and get ready to sign. Rumble. There was a loud noise, the ground shook, and the house cracked. AI's hand holding the pin shook, and black ink dots fell on the covenant and was torn into two halves. He felt something coming towards him from above his head. His body glowed with blue-white light, and the lightning-style chakra mode was turned on. Click. With one blow, the black shadow was shattered. Find something that attacks you. It was a dead branch more than 10 meters long. The giant tree that originally protected the Daming Mansion of Tian Country fell down at this moment. The green tree crown became dry, and the pressure was like a sharp sword, piercing the buildings of Daming Mansion. It was also the thing that attacked him just now. Shake the dust off yourself. AI glanced around. The former Daming Mansion was reduced to ruins, and a crack appeared on the ground. At the center was the root of the giant tree, and a large number of houses were destroyed. The conference room they were in was no longer what it looked like. It was flooded with gravel and dead branches. Fortunately, several people, all powerful ninjas, were unscathed. Only the daimyo of Tano Kuni, who was weak in strength, was supported by Mito Monobu and had a big bump on his forehead from the gravel. The whole person was still in a daze, looking at everything in front of him with dull eyes. My Daming Mansion? A protective tree as big as me? One of Sakata's hands helped him to free himself from Mitamin's inflammation, and he knelt on the ground. His eyes were wide open, and his nose and tears were flowing down at the same time. He didn't know whether he was afraid or crying sadly. Daming Mansion, which represented his status, his wealth, and his control over the country, was now destroyed. That protective tree is also the patron saint of Tian Country. When his father passed the throne to him, he asked him to take good care of this tree, otherwise there would be great changes in the country. When others saw Sakata performing like this, their eyes were filled with contempt. Isn't it just a mansion? Isn't it just a tree? Still worth crying like this? When you betrayed Tianjigu's interests, you showed no regrets at all. Are the interests of the entire country inferior to a mansion and a big tree? The bursts of friction made them on defense alert, and they no longer paid attention to Sakata, who was kneeling on the ground crying for a second. Looking at the source of the sound, there are vines. Wherever he passed, the land full of vitality became barren. The weeds turned into withered grass, dry cracks appeared on the land, and the surrounding energy was sucked away. These vines are breaking away from the trunk. The vitality of the giant tree has been swallowed up? What kind of evil technique is this? Everyone on the field had different thoughts flashing through their minds. Feeling the flow of energy, those vines are the mastermind behind it. Look in the direction of the vines. Senju Rope Tree, showing its figure from behind the thick trunk of the dead tree. Sussy ignored Dana. Long time no see. A low voice of greeting woke them up. Senju Rope Tree. Ebizo raised his head, his eyes full of surprise, and retreat flashed in his heart. Sure enough, as second-generation Kazekage Samama said, there are some advantages that cannot be taken advantage of. The Senju clan is the current collaborators of Sunagakure village. Tianjigu's interests are just a bait. They are several villages away from Sunagakure village, and there is no way to guarantee their own interests. Back a few steps, the choice has been made. What the hell? AI asked irritably with doubts in his eyes. The appearance of Senju Rope Tree made him realize that the benefits that Yunying village had already obtained would not be so easy to obtain. The benefits that have been released by Konoha village have made him dizzy. Senju Rope Tree, how do you show up? Mito Kadoyan shouted loudly. Senju Rope Tree appeared at this time, making no progress at all and still being so reckless. What did he want to do? Aren't you afraid that he will join forces with other people to keep him here? When I saw Ebizo's movements, I cursed in my heart. Was he timid or greedy? The rope tree. Tsunade's eyes were filled with tears as she trotted, wanting to hug the Senju Rope Tree. A wall formed by vines prevented Tsunade from moving. Tsunade, you made the wrong choice. Senju Dojian appeared and scolded him coldly. Such a stupid tribesman was being used by Konoha without knowing it. He must not be allowed to affect the rope tree. Sister, you shouldn't have come, and you shouldn't have interfered with the Senju clan's affairs. Your heart has never belonged to the Senju clan. As the leader of the clan, I declare that anything that happens to the Senju clan has nothing to do with you. Afterwards, it will be reported to the ninja world. Senju Naoki stopped Senju Doma's next move, shook his head and said, the way of ninja formed by being taught by the three Hokages, Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobirama, and Sarutobi Hiruzen, has become difficult to correct. You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 42. Tsunade wanted to defend herself, recalling her own performance, but she couldn't. Maybe this is where you belong. If you can't see the truth clearly, why should you lead your brother? I understand. Whatever happens to the Senju clan and Konoha in the future has nothing to do with me, Tsunade said tremblingly, her eyes losing their luster. She was filled with confusion and began to doubt everything. Doubt herself, doubt Konoha, and doubt the world. Senju passed Tsunade and came to Sakata Ichi. It seems you know something, he said condescendingly, squinting his eyes. I'm here to inform you that this is an alliance between the Senju clan and the Kingdom of Tion. Because of the shameless betrayal of the Kingdom of Tion, the covenant is invalid. A scroll appeared in his hand and was opened. It has the signatures of Senju Hashirama of the Senju clan and Ichiro Sakata of the Sakata clan of Tano Kuni, as well as bloody handprints. The scroll was torn in half and thrown on Sakata's unrepentant face. Only a look of fear could be seen. This kind of covenant is not like the contract between a psychic and a psychic beast. It has no binding force and only depends on the consciousness of both parties. The contract spirit of the Senju clan is renowned throughout the ninja world. Sakata unconsciously looked in the direction of Konoha's Mito Kadoyan. Konoha's contractual spirit and reputation? But it was never good, especially when he took refuge with Hiruzen Sarutobi. From the destruction of the Uzumaki clan to the expulsion of the Senju clan, his shadow is always behind it. A trace of regret filled Sakata's heart, and he was quickly overwhelmed by the situation in front of him. Konoha and Cloud Hidden Village, which are adjacent to Tion country, have already made the choice for him. It's so incompetent and boring. Senju shook his head and left without attacking Sakata. The final result has already been determined. After doing all this, he left under the surprised eyes of everyone. Tsunade followed Senju Nizuki, wanting to see her brother and care about what happened to him. There was no rage or revenge as expected. He just left lightly. Questions surrounded everyone's minds. Just let Tionjigwa go? They didn't understand the reason why Senju Naoki did this, just to inform Itada, and to use this non-injurious method to intimidate Itada and warn them. It was like the howl of a defeated dog, making them feel happy. Mito Kadoyan's eyes flashed with excitement. The performance of Senju Nawaki just now didn't mean that they had given up on Tion country. Then the fertile land of Tion country and the rich materials produced belonged to Konoha village. There was a trace of regret in his heart. The conditions given to Yunin village were too good. AI squinted his eyes, and the muscles in his body relaxed, no longer in a state of fighting at any time. With his simple mind, he instinctively felt that the sudden appearance of the Senju Rope Tree was just to cut down a symbolic tree. There was something wrong with it, but he really couldn't think of the meaning behind it, so he chose to seek the greatest benefit for Yunin village. The conditions given by Mito Monobu were too excessive, and he continued to wait for the partition of Tion country. Ebizo frowned and hesitated for just a moment before making a choice. Keeping the teachings of Samama in mind, they, Sunagakure village, cannot continue to be greedy. The interests of the country in front of them are the bait to strangle them. With such a geographical location, between Cloud Hidden Village and Konoha Hidden Village, and several countries away from Sunagakure village, it is impossible for Sunagakure village to control it for a long time. The ultimate goal of Sand Hidden Village should be on Kawanaguni, which is close to them. After the incident at Takigakure, one should also be wary. He always felt that Senju Naoki and Sakata were hiding something. Sunagakure Village. Exit the country of fields. Throwing out a few words coldly, Ebizo left this place of right and wrong. He was about to rush to the battlefield in the Kingdom of Rain and felt a sense of uneasiness in his heart. Tsunade's declaration just now shows that he will not return to the battlefield of Rain Country, so Sunagakure Village can take advantage of the fact that other ninja villages do not enter the battlefield to get the Kawa country they want. In Sand Hidden Village, they no longer have to live a life controlled by others. Even starting a war depends on other people's faces. Amid everyone's puzzled gazes, Ebizo's figure disappeared. Mito Kadoyan was even more happy. He was not satisfied with this allocation. After seeing Ebizo leave, he had other plans in mind. Sakata was still paralyzed on the spot. My father's teachings and a legend were recalled in my mind. The country of Tion was originally called the country of gravel. It was a barren land. With the help of the Senju clan, it became what it is today. The protective tree of Daming Mansion is a testimony of friendship between the two parties and a kind of protection for Tion Jigwa, so he must keep it in mind. What Senju did made him feel flustered. He turned to look at Mito Kadoyan, hoping to hold his new thigh. A new alliance must be signed with the 5 major ninja villages in order for the kingdom of Tion to continue to grow strong. He did not believe that the country of Tion, which had left the Senju clan and gained a bigger backer, would decline. Mito Manabu raised up Sakata, ignored the departing Ebizo of Sunagakure Village, and redistributed the interests of Tano Kuni. 40% of Konoha Hidden Village, 40% of Kumogakure Village, and 20% of Tion Country. Only AI from Yunin Village was a little dissatisfied, but quickly put it down. He recognized this method. Based on the strength of both parties and the geographical location of Tianji Country between the two countries, this was also the best way to distribute it. The 3 parties quickly signed an agreement. The interests of Tian's Higuo have been distributed. It is the best outcome for the 3 parties who signed the covenant. Perfect solution. Tsunade chased out, unconsciously following Senju Nawaki and Senju Doma. Senju stopped and let out a long sigh. Tsunade is not responsible for the Senju clan, but she takes good care of her younger brother and never owes him anything. Sister, you are still the princess of the Land of Fire. When you find the answer in your heart, you can go to Wood City to find me, Senju said in a gentle tone, retaining the last trace of warmth. Tsunade was just deceived. The really hateful thing was Hiruzen Sarutobi, who made a fuss about Tsunade. I will not participate in any wars again. I want to travel around the ninja world. Naoki, take care of yourself. Tsunade hesitated for a long time before expressing her decision. The Tsunade in front of her has never experienced the death of Senju Nizuki or the death of her lover, but she has the same idea as in the original plot and travels around the ninja world. The earth-shaking changes during this period impacted her previous understanding. There is an irreconcilable conflict between the family and the village. The teacher I once respected couldn't see his true face clearly. She seemed to be living in a huge lie. The genius of the Senju clan, the hope of Konoha's future, and the people who healed the entire Konoha were all a joke. They were used by Hiruzen Sarutobi to control her and restrict the Senju Rope Tree. Tools. Her brother is better than her. The confidence I once had was completely gone. Tsunade began to look at herself. If you need anything, come to Muzashing to find me. Senju nodded. He was very happy that Tsunade made such a choice. His consciousness has finally changed, and he is unable to perfectly empathize with the feelings of the 2 siblings. The friendship between the 2 cannot return to what it was before, but it retains a warm family affection. Senju's way of ninja is a kind of self-righteous fairness. If you treat me well, I will treat you well. If you plot against me, I will plot against you. The rope tree speeds up and rushes to the Kingdom of Rain, where a big change has occurred. This is related to Shangshu's plan to restore his body to integrity. Chapter 43. Senju Dojian hung behind him, looking at Tsunade with a complicated expression. He was once an outstanding descendant of the Senju clan, but unfortunately he was poisoned by Sarutobi Hiruzen and brainwashed with his twisted will of fire, causing him to deviate from the Senju clan. Become a tool for Hiruzen Sarutobi to control and suppress the Senju clan. Thinking of what Senju Nashu said just now, Senju Dojian had a guess in his mind. Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama left a way out for the Senju clan, and that was Tsunade. They did not give Tsunade the surname Senju, but the princess of the fire country who was favored by thousands of people. Even if there is any turmoil in Konoha or the ninja world, Tsunade will rely on her identity as a disciple of Sarutobi Hiruzen and the princess of the Fire Country to survive and preserve the blood of the Senju clan. The status of a nobleman can allow people to survive. But Senju Tujin does not want the Senju clan to survive in the world, but wants to restore the glory of the Senju clan. The glory of the once largest clan in the ninja world. Only Senju Rope Tree is the best choice. The voice was cold. Shangshu is a qualified clan leader. I am very happy that you can find yourself, but please do not interfere with any of Shangshu's decisions, as this will cause interference to him. There was a warning in Senju Doma's tone. He didn't want anyone to interfere with Senju's plan. I see. Tsunade waved her hands in frustration. They are skeptical about everything that happens in the world and need to rediscover how to live meaningfully. This world is too twisted, and it shouldn't be like this. Senju Dojian ignored Tsunade, used the teleportation technique, and caught up with the Senju Rope Tree. The two rushed to the battlefield in the Kingdom of Rain, where very interesting things happened. Hatake Tsukumo killed Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law. Senju Naoshu was also murmuring in his heart. He originally guessed that Hatake Tsukumo would kill Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law at all costs only if the heir of the Senju clan died. After all, both sides are still exercising restraint. They have no intention of opening a full-scale fire and entering the other side's homeland. They are just testing the battlefield in the Kingdom of Rain. During the Second Ninja War, his death gave Konoha an excuse to break out. The death of important figures made Hatake Tsukumo no longer have any scruples. The death of Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law plunged Sunagakure village into madness. The Second Ninja World War reached its most intense moment. At this time, the prestige of Chiyo and Ebizo has gradually become comparable to that of second-generation Kazekage Samama, who was disheartened because of his son and daughter-in-law. The new generation of power appears in Sand Hidden Village. The strongest Kazekage appears and competes with the strongest Hokage. Both of them are third-generation projects and are also parallel imports. There is no record of true strength. There is another similarity. They were all killed by Orochimaru. Senju Naoki guessed that Hatake Tsukumo's killing of Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law this time was related to Sarutobi Hiruzen's transfer of Tsunade away from the Rain Country battlefield. Chiyo's character is too ruthless, and without Tsunade's restraint, she resorts to poison techniques to achieve maximum results. Even if Hatake Tsukumo received an order from Hiruzen Sarutobi to restrain, he would not let Chiyo massacre the ninjas of Konoha. This led to the current tragedy. After Senju Rope Tree left, the ninjas of the Senju clan destroyed the water conservancy facilities and farm structures of Tian Country. These are not fatal injuries. It only requires Konoha and Cloud Hidden Village to send powerful Earth-style ninjas to repair the damaged facilities. The people from Konoha and Yunin Village did not continue to pursue the matter. This time, the people of the Senju clan have suffered such a big loss and have resentments in their hearts. It is acceptable to use this small method to vent their anger. Think of these as the incompetent fury of the Senju clan, unable to affect the future layout of Tian Country. Under the leadership of Ichigo Sakata, the country of Tian started autumn planting. There are mainly two types of soybeans and sugar beets, which are important supplements to staple foods. Soybeans can add fat, and beets can add sugar. It is worth mentioning that the Aburame clan can use insects to extract sugar from beets. It seems that the future is bright, except that the citizens of Tian Country have less rations because of Konoha Village, which took away most of the new grain from Tian Country. It was a comfortable life, after all. With the protection of Cloud Hidden Village and Konoha Hidden Village, the Senju clan was discredited, and naturally no other forces came to peep. This comfort was quickly broken. The civilians in Tianji Country, because of the lack of food, began to look for everything they could eat. In the fields, I found tumbleweed seedlings, which looked green, tender, and very delicious. The common people who couldn't bear the hunger regarded the seedlings as a kind of wild vegetables, ate them, and passed out. Only then did they discover that it was a poisonous weed, so they stopped eating it and eradicated it. Horrible things begin to happen. The vitality of this kind of grass is extremely tenacious. Even if it is uprooted or even chopped into pieces, it can take root again and split into new individuals. It has extremely strong vitality and a very short growth cycle. It can grow seeds in more than 10 days. Even if they burn it with fire, the seeds can still grow. This grass is basically the psychic wood among plants and contains a kind of chakra. They couldn't completely remove it, and the tumbleweeds swept across the entire Tian Country, making them even more desperate. Tumbleweeds squeeze the living space of food crops, and the soybeans and sugar beets they sow cannot germinate. Experienced farmers in Tian's Higuo found that the once fertile land had turned into piles of gravel, which was not suitable for the growth of crops at all. The food for the coming year will not grow either. The old man seemed to have returned to the era of the country of gravel. Thinking of the recent rumors in Tian country, their daimyo abandoned the Senju clan and formed an alliance with Konoha and Cloud Hidden Village. They are still cheering on the front foot. This is the wisest decision, and Tianjigwa will definitely reach a higher level. Huji cursed the daimyo of his country, Konoha village and Kumogakure village, as well as the Senju clan who left them. Falling into despair, they fled the kingdom of Tian one after another and became refugees, looking for a glimmer of hope. The daimyo of Tian country collapsed in the ancestral hall of the Sakata clan. Next to him are volumes of national annals of the land of fields. Chapter 44. On it, he saw the record of Tumbleweed, saw the development history of Tianjigwa, and also knew why Tianjigwa was what it is today. Only then did he understand the whole context and what the Senju clan's revenge was. His eyes were bloodshot, veins popped out on his fingers, and scratches were left on the ground. The Senju clan is no longer that honest family. It is destroying the roots of our country. He raised his head, roared piercingly and full of regret, vomited blood from his mouth, and fainted. Before he fell into coma, he realized one thing. The country of Tian that had undergone such a huge change no longer existed. Losing the country of Tian, the Sakata clan, his relatives and children in Konoha will not end well. The Sakata clan is not even as good as the original civilians in Konoha village. With the previous lessons, what would the Sarutobi clan do with their character? He already had the answer in his heart. Once a noble, now he has become a refugee in the ninja world. Although full of regret, it cannot be undone. If he was given another chance, he would definitely not be deceived by the conspirator Sarutobi Hiruzen. Third Hokage and AI of Cloud Hidden Village were in a daze, facing the information in their hands. AI's achievements in Tian country have elevated his status and prestige in Cloud Hidden Village, and there is no longer any obstacle to becoming the fourth Hokage. This incident made everything useless. AI's face was filled with unhappiness and a hint of unnaturalness. Once again, he was seen through by the Senju Rope Tree. Recalling Ebizo's reaction, he realized that there was still a distance between himself and the strong men of the older generation. Third Hokage comforted him. AI, don't underestimate anyone, especially a ninja family that can be passed down for thousands of years. What Sasuke of the Senju Rope Tree did was beyond my expectations. The current Senju clan has changed from its past style and has become extremely radical, which is much harder to deal with than the Senju Tobirama was at that time. AI frowned and kept flipping through the finger-thick information on the table. In it, almost everything the Senju clan did in Tian country was restored. The reason is that they are afraid that the Senju clan will do something like this to their Kumoyan village and the Kingdom of Thunder, which will destroy the country. After investigation, I felt relieved. I somewhat understood the radical behavior of the Senju clan, and despised Tianjigwa from the bottom of my heart. Everything in Tian country was given by the Senju clan, but they shamelessly betrayed the Senju clan and took refuge in Konoha, the Senju clan's current enemy. What the Senju clan did was to take back all the benefits that had been given to the country of Tian. Father, the Senju Rope Tree is really a terrifying enemy. The whole plan may seem naive, but it directly strikes people's hearts and shocks them. When the news about Tian country spreads, even the 5 major ninja countries need to reconsider their attitude towards the Senju clan. Do you need Umbu to strengthen monitoring? AI put down the information in his hand. A trace of doubt flashed in his eyes, and he recalled getting along with Senju Rashu in his mind. Not to mention the opponent's strength, but the information he possesses contains many secrets of the ninja world. Is it really the legacy of the Senju clan that lasts so long? AI, your acumen is enough to take on the role of Hokage. The guys from the strategy department have listed Senju Rope Tree as a key research object and have specially created a file for him. Through analysis, in the next few years, what he does will affect the war situation of the entire ninja world. In a short period of time, his target should be on Konoha. No, it should be said that it is the current Third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. No matter how they fight, it will be good for us. Next, you should focus on the battlefield in the Kingdom of Rain. The latest information, Hatake Tsukumo killed Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law. Konoha village and Sunagakure village fought real fire, stationed troops on the border, and prepared to start a bigger war. Our goal is to set our sights on the country of grass, where the pastures are conducive to the growth of thunder cows. Reaching a certain number of thunder cows can accelerate the growth of our ninja power in Yunin village. In the ninja world, strength is everything. The expression on Third Hokage's face became serious. He stood up and looked into the distance. The Thunderbull is an edible ninja beast that can speed up the practice of chakra and ninjutsu, activate their bloodline, and enhance the control of thunder and water chakras. Just like the golden horn and the silver horn, if you eat the meat of Nine Tails, you can have some of the characteristics of Nine Tails. Most of the ninjas in Yunin Village have this kind of blood. As long as there are enough thunder cows, their Yunin Village will be strong enough. It's a pity that Thunder Nyo's pasture requires high-quality pasture with water properties, which cannot be planted in ordinary places. Only a small part of the land in Yunin Village can be planted, and the Kingdom of Grass can just do it. Their goal is the Country of Grass. This war is their best chance for Cloud Hidden Village to surpass Konoha Hidden Village and become the strongest of the 5 ninja villages. This is good news for Yunin Village. Konoha Hidden Village is facing internal and external troubles. Internally, Hiruzen Sarutobi was incompetent and ignorant, and would only take advantage of his own family, forcing the most powerful Senju clan to leave Konoha, causing uneven distribution and causing a backlash from major internal forces. Externally, Sunagakure Village, even the weakest of the 5 great ninja villages, can still have a certain impact on Konoha Hidden Village. These are opportunities for their Yunin Village. This time, Third Hokage must make Cloud Hidden Village the strongest in the ninja world and fulfill the wishes of the ancestors of Cloud Hidden Village. Okay, father. AI's eyes were also full of ambition. Standing side by side with Third Hokage on the top of the Hokage building, looking down at everything in Kumogakure Village through the glass. The villagers are united and thriving. They can definitely lead Cloud Hidden Village to surpass the nightmare of Konoha Hidden Village. Hidden Leaf Village. In the Hokage building, the Jonin Conference was held again. Representatives of all the ninja families in Konoha were all present, and everyone's face was full of sorrow. The Tian country incident broke out, and besides the Tian country, the one with the most profound impact was Konoha. They began to fear the revenge of the Senju clan. They knew clearly that Konoha Hidden Village was also a village founded by the Senju clan. The Senju clan's contribution was no less than in Tian country. The regret in my heart became more and more intense. At present, Konoha Village is still facing the consequences of losing the Senju clan. The basic supplies in Konoha Village, common rice and noodles, have risen to sky-high prices. The war preparation materials on the front line also began to become tense. All this is because they forced the Senju clan to leave, but were unable to take over the mess caused by the Senju clan's departure. The culprits were the Sarutobi clan and the Nara clan. What makes them even more angry is that the Sarutobi clan and the Nara clan made a lot of money from this incident. Sell the basic supplies, food, and medicinal materials that you have hoarded to Konoha Hidden Village at a higher price. Even the ill-minded Uchiha clan had voices questioning Hiruzen Sarutobi. Everyone unconsciously compared the Sarutobi clan with the Senju clan, compared Sarutobi Hiruzen with Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, and began to miss the Senju clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen was questioned like never before. At this moment, a crisis broke out on the battlefield of the Land of Rain, completely exposing the true colors of the Sarutobi clan and the Inarakacho clan. Chapter 45. After Tsunade left, Chiyo began to massacre indiscriminately, and the ninjas of the Sarutobi clan and the Inarakacho clan left the front of the Rain country early for various reasons. The remaining people, realizing that they have become outcasts, are ready to die. Hatake Tsukumo couldn't bear it and didn't understand why Sarutobi Hiruzen transferred Tsunade and left. This was simply giving the Rain country's front to Sunagakure Village. While protecting his compatriots, he encountered Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law and saw the miserable state of his companions. Ignoring Sarutobi Hiruzen's order to retreat without counterattack, he killed them directly. Hatake Tsukumo completely offended Sarutobi Hiruzen and pushed the Sarutobi clan and the Inakacho clan against these abandoned sons. Hatake Tsukumo received a lot of support. Now Konoha's top management has unknowingly split into several factions. The largest faction is still the interest group headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Sarutobi family, the Inarakacho family, and several elder groups' families. But because the image that Sarutobi Hiruzen worked so hard to build was destroyed, their interest group was no longer as unbreakable as it once was. I no longer believe in Sarutobi Hiruzen. This is Sarutobi Hiruzen who may deceive his companions and allies at any time. Bloody examples are right in front of their eyes. His mentor's family, the Senju clan, was forced to leave Konoha, and it was his son who took matters into his own hands and wanted to eradicate it. Allies of Konoha Village, the Uzumaki clan. There are only a few survivors left, wandering the ninja world. The orthodox heir, Uzumaki Kushina was tamed with love, and all the properties of the Uzumaki clan. Sealing techniques and shops became the private property of Sarutobi Hiruzen's clan. The alliance that the Sarutobi clan had just signed, the Sakata clan of Tian country, was no longer able to afford it, and its expenses in Konoha village were reduced to the lowest level in Konoha. They need to think carefully whether they will end up like this if they cooperate with Sarutobi Hiruzen. There is a certain degree of dissatisfaction and estrangement towards the Sarutobi clan. Among them are the reason for the Senju Rope Tree, the hint to Shimura Danzo in the Wooden Castle, and the sowing discord against the Inakacho family in Tiano country, all for this effect. The other factions were extremely chaotic, but they affected Hiruzen Sarutobi's absolute dominance. The Uchiha clan watches alone, arrogantly wanting to use their strength to impress the families in Konoha. Many other families have united to defeat their superiors. Subordinates demand that the ruling class assume their due responsibilities, hoping that Sarutobi Hiruzen can become the fair Hokage he calls it. Any unreasonable behavior of Sarutobi Hiruzen will be resisted by them. Hatake Tsukumo became the ostensible agent of these families. Hatake Tsukumo's ninja dedicating everything to Konoha was enough to carry the hopes of these families. These families united and applied to the daimyo to grant Hatake Tsukumo the Hokage sleeve, who could exercise Hokage rights on behalf of Hiruzen Sarutobi at certain times and restrict Hiruzen Sarutobi's arbitrary actions. There is also a very small faction that is gradually emerging. I hope that the Senju clan can return to Konoha, even regain control of Konoha, and lead Konoha back to the top of the ninja world. Among this faction, there are many people who know how to be grateful, and some are civilian ninjas from the Senju clan. Not only do they miss Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, but they also shock the Senju Rope Tree. Is it regret or fear? They don't know yet. In the conference room, after a difficult meeting process and compromise between several parties, the final result was obtained. Agree on 3 points. The first point is to protect the interests of Konoha village and immediately send out the ninja army to the battlefield of the Kingdom of Rain to safeguard the interests of Konoha village. The second point is that Hiruzen Sarutobi must announce everything about the Sarutobi clan. Under the supervision of Konoha Jonin, the Sarutobi clan learns from the former Senju clan in this battle and sends family ninjas to shoulder the heavy responsibility of the Hokage family. Hatake Tsukumo was elected to supervise everything of the Sarutobi clan. The third point is to try every means to ease the relationship between Konoha and the Senju clan. The most critical one is Sarutobi Shinosuke, the man who has become a puzzle. Senju said more than once that he only needed Sarutobi Shinosuke to apologize and he could give Konoha a chance. At this meeting, Sarutobi Hiruzen's prestige suffered an unprecedented blow. The things he is about to face in the future will be even more difficult. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a sullen face, slammed the door, and left the Hokage building where he once had his say. Everything that happened today was a shame in his heart. Everything that happened in the meeting was out of his control and seemed to be directed against him. The whole meeting became a meeting for these people to criticize him. He even had an impulse. Regardless of whether this Hokage was inappropriate, he would never be able to return to his previous status. Other ninja families are also worried, and they have no idea about the future war. At some point, the village they thought was a safe haven, Hidden Leaf Village, was already riddled with holes. His evaluation of Sarutobi Hiruzen, who just left in a rage, was a little lower. What happened in the Hidden Leaf Village? Everything is like a trajectory woven by the Senju Rope Tree. The first step was to destroy the reputation that Hiruzen Sarutobi had worked so hard to build. This was already easy to accomplish. Hiruzen Sarutobi was too controversial and his methods were too dark. The second step is to destroy all the power in the hands of Hiruzen Sarutobi. The plan is in progress. This time in the Kingdom of Rain is the key to achieving this step. The Sarutobi family, the Inagasho family, the families of the elders, and some ninjas brainwashed by the twisted will of fire will all be the targets of the Senju Rope Tree. The third step is to clear out the Sarutobi clan. Return to Konoha or destroy Konoha village. I am still thinking about it. The Land of Rain. It has become extremely confusing. After Sancho Hanzo learned that Chiyo's son and daughter-in-law were killed, he did not dare to show any behavior that would cause misunderstanding and huddled in a corner of the Rain country. Leave the battlefield to two behemoths, Sand Hidden Village and Konoha Hidden Village. Within a tree hole, the dusty Senju Rope Tree and Senju Soil are taking a rest. The two of them turned on the wood style mode with their backs against the big tree, integrating themselves with the entire environment. This mode can help them recover quickly. Clan leader, the ninja armies of Konoha Hidden Village and Sand Hidden Village have been assembled, and this time the scale is unprecedentedly large. Among the ninjas of Konoha, There are many confidants of Hiruzen Sarutobi, elite forces that they once secretly retained. It seems that other ninjas of Konoha have finally begun to question this unqualified Hokage. Are we going to end it ourselves? Senju Doma released the wood style mode, and the fatigue on his body was gone, and he said with doubt in his tone. Chapter 46. Senju Doma can sympathize with Chiyo's anger at this time. If the heir he has painstakingly cultivated and the hope of protection is wiped out, he will definitely come back with unscrupulous revenge. Just like when Senju Nezuki was ambushed and killed by Konoha, Chiyo may still have a trace of self-blame. If it weren't for her aggressiveness, Hatake Tsukumo would not be so merciless. What she hates even more in her heart is Sarutobi Hiruzen. The two sides have reached a tacit understanding, but there is a variable like Hatake Tsukumo. Senju Doma has concerns in his heart. The Senju clan, which has just established a foothold, may become the target of public criticism if it rashly intervenes in the battle between the two major ninja villages. My body is incomplete here, and it will be complete here. Senju Rope Tree stood up and walked towards the entrance of the tree hole. He looked at the familiar and unfamiliar scene in front of him and murmured. A light rain fell from the sky, leaving puddles of water on the ground. This is also the norm in the land of rain. This place is only a few kilometers away from the place where he came to this world and lost his legs. He also chose this place unintentionally. Everything follows the clan leader's orders. Even if the entire Senju clan is involved, the clan leader's body will be restored to integrity. Senju Doma's expression was stagnant. It turned out that this was the place where Senju Nezuki lost his legs. He was really confused and made up his mind instantly. When he helped him awaken with style, he discovered that the Senju Rope Tree had a strange power, and the price was the blood corpses of other ninjas. The Senju Rope Tree represents the Senju clan, and only he can bring hope to the Senju clan. Even if all the Senju clan fights together, they must help the Senju Rope Tree regain its complete body. He is ready to sacrifice his people. Don't worry, we don't have to go down in person. Someone will help me get everything I want. Everything was caused by Hiruzen Sarutobi, and he should be allowed to repay it slowly. Senju Rusha's eyes moved slightly, and he explained. The tolerance and self-righteous fairness in his heart began to agitate. If Sarutobi Hiruzen and the people of Konoha wanted his life, they would pay for it with the lives of these people. The Hidden Leaf Village and Sunagakure Village attack each other, which he considers to be fair and has nothing to do with right or wrong. He only needs to benefit from it, restore his body to integrity, and weaken Sarutobi Hiruzen's power to achieve his goal. Seeing the determination on Senju Dojian's face, I realized that he understood what I meant. Senju was a little moved by the words he said. There are some things that he does not need to do. Someone will do it for Senju Naoki. For example, Chiyo lost his son and daughter-in-law. Revenge, this word, has been a kind of abnormal fairness since its birth. Even in the seemingly prosperous world of Senju's previous life, repaying debts and killing people to pay for one's life was a kind of self-righteous fairness that was not advocated. Everything must refer to the system, and everything must focus on the overall situation. But he also knows that when the system is born, benefits will be generated. If you are not the beneficiary of the benefits, then you will be the loser. When you are asked to focus on the overall situation, you are a victim. In that world, the superior system controllers and makers are not afraid of you taking up legal weapons. They are afraid that you will put down the law and take up weapons. This kind of abnormal fairness is not recognized by the public. Senju was once oppressed by his graduate tutor. He wanted to resist countless times, but was suppressed by the civilized system and finally succumbed and died. Only then was born the fairness he now considers to be righteous, and this kind of tolerance runs through his entire life. Therefore, his behavior style is destroying the original rules of the ninja world. Sunagakure Village, Chiyo? Senju Dojian smiled awkwardly, and the answer appeared in his mind. When he signed the food trade agreement with Ebizo in the Castle of Wood, he proposed that Konoha's corpse could be used in exchange for resources. But will the Sunagakure Village, which is approaching the madness, be obedient? Based on his understanding of Sunagakure Village is an extreme opportunist and will not serve the Senju clan without reservation. They may even anger the Senju clan and use this as a reason to seek more benefits. This world is full of unknowns. I want to give the reincarnation of the dirt to Chiyo in exchange for something. Senju stopped playing riddles and revealed a temptation that Chiyo could not refuse. There are many mental illnesses in the ninja world, most of which are caused by the death of relatives and friends. But what's more twisted is that they themselves are either controlled by Sage of Six Paths or controlled by Uchiha Madara. Things like chakra make Senju Rope Tree feel a kind of fear. Just like the law in the previous life, this world is controlled by chakra. For example, Uchiha Obito, Uzumaki Nagato, could obviously resurrect his loved ones, but his will was twisted and he wanted to take revenge on the world. Judging from the current situation, Chiyo has not been distorted yet. She has been studying a technique of reincarnation. The initial research idea was to wake up corpses and furthermore, to become human puppets and revive their own sons and daughter-in-law. It's a pity that she was killed by the plot in the end, and Sakura died in order to treat Haruno. This series of changes gave Senju a trace of doubt in his heart, but it did not prevent him from making this decision. He wants to see what choice Chiyo will make now. Give Chiyo a chance to resurrect her son and daughter-in-law at the cost of killing her enemy. What will she do? It shouldn't be difficult to choose. I support you. You can control everything of the Senju clan. Instead of taking advantage of the Sarutobi Hiruzen line in vain, it is better to benefit the Senju clan. A sharp light emitted from Senju Dojian's eyes. I didn't feel shameful for Senju's scheme, but I felt a sense of appreciation. His way of ninja is to protect the Senju clan and the Senju Rope Tree at all costs. What Senju is doing now is very similar to the way he acts. Combined with his own experience in his mind, he began to deduce the results. Especially Chiyo's character. A genius who studied poisonous arts, he devoted his life to Sand Hidden Village and owed something to his family. Senju Rope Tree's appeal happened to be in the interests of both parties, and an agreement could be reached. Senju Rope Tree's plan should be approved. This is better for both parties. An unexpected guest is coming. Senju Naoki squinted his eyes, fixed his gaze on the pond in the rain, and opened his mouth to warn Senju Doma. Not far away, in a shallow shoal, a green toad was sticking its entire head out, as if it was breathing. Chapter 47. Senju Rope Tree noticed a strange aura from it. This toad had that kind of gaze that he felt he had seen before somewhere. It had a lewd look. When I exited the wood style mode just now, I clearly felt a chakra fluctuation around me, but it quickly disappeared. A name appeared in my mind, Jiraiya. This guy's psychic beast is the toad from Mount Mayaboku, and he has also developed many ninjutsu that can be used with the toad. These include hiding one's body through the toad, obtaining information through the toad, and performing ninjutsu through the toad. The scene in front of him was just like when he entered the base of Akatsuki organization in the Land of Rain. The special weather in the Land of Rain makes this method of hiding somewhat concealable. No one cares about a toad beside a rainy pond. The current situation is so similar. The green toad felt the gaze of Senju Rope Tree and made bursts of frog sounds. There was still a trace of doubt in Senju Dojian's eyes. Following Senju's gaze, he caught the strange look of the green toad. Put your hands together and cast with style. Bondage. The sound of breaking soil sounded, and the water plants around the pond began to grow wildly. The roots of the aquatic plants are like the meandering lion majesty, strangling the green toads. Bang! The green toad turned into a cloud of smoke, leaving half a wooden pile in place. Replacement technique? Senju Dojian spat out a few words coldly, and his pupils moved in his eye sockets, looking for abnormalities around him. As an old-timer and experienced ninja, he only discovered this abnormality after Senju Rope Tree. When he felt ashamed, he wanted to see which D put him in such a situation. Being so proficient in the substitution and transformation techniques, and cleverly combining them with the psychic technique, he is at least an elite jonin. Moreover, this substitute technique gave him a sense of familiarity. It was the substitute technique promoted by Senju Tobirama at the Konoha Ninja School, using wooden stakes to replace himself. The substitution technique that was suddenly used just now is the substitution technique that the caster is most familiar with. It is almost instinctive. The hidden person should be a ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village. Further avatar techniques, such as breeding rabbits, using puppets, and avatars, require more preparation. Senju Doma has a candidate in mind, Jiraiya, the one he hates most among the Konoha Sannin, Sarutobi Hiruzen's loyal dog. It's filled with water and weeds. Activate wood style again to spawn water plants. The aquatic plants around the pond grew wildly and spread outward. If you see anything suspicious, you will be cut with sharp aquatic leaves and wounds. In the range around the pond where the substitution technique can be performed, no lurking ninja was found. Until find out the most overlooked areas. I found you, Jiraiya, Senju Doma roared, feeling happy that he finally no longer had to embarrass himself in front of Senju Roden. Putting his hands together, the water plants formed a cage, covering the position where the toad was just now. It turns out that Jiraiya never left his original position, but just hid deeper and dived to the bottom of the pond. Uh-huh, uh-huh. The sound of rope slapping against the water. White and green chains stirred together on the pond. Green is Senju Earthen's wood style vine. White is Jiraiya's hair rope. For a moment, there was no winner. The image of Jiraiya in front of him was too absurd. There was a red toad next to his mouth to mouth with him. Jiraiya was hiding in the pond just now, and it was this toad that was providing him with oxygen. Senju was shocked, even if he used wood-style ninjutsu in a hurry. But the secret hair technique used by Jiraiya can actually fight against him, so it should not be underestimated. Worthy of being one of the Konoha Sannin alongside Tsunade, decided to be ruthless. When the Senju clan left, only Jiraiya among the Konoha Sannin showed clear hostility. In his heart, Jiraiya was also Sarutobi Hiruzen's most loyal lackey. Stop! Senju stopped the fight between the two and stared at Jiraiya closely, wanting to know what Jiraiya wanted to do. Jiraiya might be able to solve the doubts in his heart. Senju immediately stopped what he was doing, stood behind Senju Noju, and stared at Jiraiya. Noseki, I just met you. I want to ask you about Tsunade's situation and give you some advice. Jiraiya lifted the psychic technique and sent the toad that was talking to him back to Mount Mayaboku. Ha 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 ha, he explained to Senju Nezuki. Senju looked at Jiraiya carefully and spoke after a long time. You are lying. You are investigating me specifically. The smell on your body is very familiar to me. You have been to the battlefield where I was ambushed. In the cracks of Jiraiya's combat armor, there is a kind of red soil, with the smell of the Senju Rope Tree itself on it. That kind of soil is the unique soil of the place where Senju buried himself after his leg was broken by the rope, fearing that Sarutobi Hiruzen would have a backhand. At that time, Senju awakened the wood style and left some breath. Jiraiya must have been in that place for a long time, been to the pit where he was buried. Noseki, you discovered it and I won't hide it anymore. You have turned away from your destiny and returned to Konoha to make everything go on track. This will make the world a better place and reduce sacrifices. Jiraiya shook his head and shook out the leaves that had been smashed by his hair. There was a sacred expression of firm belief on his face. Carefully checking the flaws on his body, how did Senju Rope Tree find his traces until he saw the kind of dirt on the armor? He received instructions from Toad Sage, and the prophecy of the Son of the World changed. The entire world will fall into war, and the world will be swallowed up and merged into one. Rebirth and destruction are just a matter of thoughts, which will affect the growth of the children of the world. The origin of all this lies in the Senju Rope Tree. He must get everything back on track so that the world can be saved. He began to suspect that Senju Rope Tree had died when he was ambushed, so he conducted an investigation into the original ambush of Senju Rope Tree. We found the place where the ambush occurred and tried to recreate everything that happened to the Senju Rope Tree there. The traces on his body were stained at that time. You found out the truth about my ambush, and you let me return to Konoha, just for the so-called ethereal fate? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't ask you to come, right? Senju asked in succession, trying to find out some information from Jiraiya's reaction. Jiraiya's face was extremely tangled, and finally he showed a pilgrim-like expression, with a relieved smile on his face. Senju Rope Tree fell into deep thought, and his mind was a little confused. The person hiding behind Jiraiya was not Hiruzen Sarutobi, and Hiruzen Sarutobi would not let him return to Konoha at this time. Combining the fate mentioned by Jiraiya, I have the answer in my heart, the Great Toad Sage, the psychic beast that once helped the Sage of Six Paths seal Otsutsuki Kagaya. This old toad has a prophecy ability. It would be difficult to deal with being targeted by him. Jiraiya's expression just now made him very uncomfortable. Just like when the graduate student's supervisor squeezed him for various reasons. Is my future destiny already determined? You can read more daily new novels on fictionzone.net. Both sites share the same login details, so you don't need to sign up again. Chapter 48. A sense of fear came over him. The water in this world was too deep. Was it some of his actions that touched the correction mechanism of this world? When he left Konoha, the soul body of Senju Hashirama, the reincarnation of Azura, who lived in the necklace, tried to stop him. The role of this necklace is to protect the son of the world, Uzumaki Naruto, at critical moments. Now there's the Great Toad Sage, leaving Jiraiya to stop him. If he doesn't comply, will the Sage of Six Paths, the big boss, come to destroy him? Does this world all revolve around the son of the world? Senju Rope Tree can't see the truth of the world. Konoha is indeed sorry for you and the Senju clan, but for the sake of peace in the ninja world, you need to make sacrifices. When you return to Konoha, I will try my best to ensure the safety of you and the Senju clan. I accept the guidance of fate and lead you on the right path. Jiraiya saw a kind of fear in Senju's eyes. The whole person became extremely solemn and aloof, as if he was announcing some kind of decree and persuading the Senju Rope Tree. He had already made his choice for Senju Rope Tree. He firmly believed that this was the best outcome. Only by sacrificing the Senju Rope Tree and sacrificing the Senju family can the world get on the right track and wait for the savior who can save the world. You are so arrogant. Who do you think you are? You dare to talk about fate. If everything is destined, why do you know the outcome? Why do you feel so superior? Senju Doma burst out with a powerful aura, stamped his foot on the ground, created a crack, and rushed towards Jiraiya. At that moment, Senju Dojian was shocked and attracted by this sophistry. In an instant, he was covered by his own ninja. What Jiraiya said was all based on his standpoint, all based on the information he knew, and all for the things he cared about. In order to protect his own ninja, Jiraiya accepted the guidance of the great Toad Sage and pursued the illusory son of the world. This conflicts with the Nindo of Senju Doma to protect the Senju clan and the Senju Rope Tree. The two people's forbearance collided with each other. It still depends on strength. Jiraiya shook his body, and in a blink of an eye, he retreated back more than 10 meters without being attacked by Senju Doma. Senju Rope Tree was also awakened, broke out in a cold sweat, and a dangerous light bloomed in his eyes. Jiraiya's words, combined with Senju's knowledge of the situation, really frightened Senju. On second thought, if everything was already doomed, he shouldn't continue to live at this time. All kinds of paradoxes are intertwined in Senju's mind, and it explodes into a mess, trying to clear his thoughts. The final implementation of Senju's simple wish is also Senju's way of tolerance, self-righteous justice. I have a clear understanding of the so-called destiny of this world. As far as the early stages of Shippuden are concerned, everything is under the control of Sage of Six Paths. The struggle between Indra and Asura is the main theme of this world. They reincarnated each other hundreds of times, and the final result was Indra's defeat and Asura's victory. Once is a coincidence, twice is accidental, and 3 times is normal. What if it is hundreds of times? That is destiny and human control. There must be a black hand behind it, and that is the powerful Sage of Six Paths. Because Asura represents his will, he wants Asura to win, and Asura will always have the upper hand. The strength of Sage of Six Paths is enough to influence and control the entire ninja world. The so-called fate is nothing more than a powerful person imposing his own knowledge on those who disobey him. A story from a past life appeared in Senju's mind. Snowflake Goddess Dragon. She feels unjust in her heart. The users of Dragon Soul Sword and Phoenix Blood Sword are destined to be together. This is their destiny. But behind this, there is a competition between 2 martial arts masters. What is the difference between this and giving poison to make the goddess dragon lose her virginity? It's just that the methods are different. They all use powerful power to determine the fate of others. The trajectory of this world is controlled by the so-called gods. The Sage of Six Paths, through the power of chakra, carries out his will throughout the world. Thousands of times I have tried to prove that my ideas are the right path through the reincarnation of Asura, but there are always people who refuse to give in. It has nothing to do with right or wrong. It is just a collision of ideas to see who has more power. At this time, Sage of Six Paths is stronger and he has the upper hand. What Sage of Six Paths did has brought huge, hard-to-heal damage to the world. Once again surrendering, once again dying innocently, Senju cannot accept this result, and he will resist. Senju Rope Tree must practice its own philosophy. Boom! The body exuded a powerful aura, and the chakra in the body suddenly changed. The aura that used to be extremely dirty has now become somewhat clear. Clear the original mark in the chakra and imprint it with Senju's own mark and his own ninja way. Senju Doma and Jiraiya noticed the changes in the Senju Rope Tree at the same time. He found his nindo. They both had the answer in their minds at the same time. A ninja who has his own way of ninja will not change his cognition easily. When Senju Dojian was able to kill Senju Hashirama's chakra that resided on his necklace, it was because he had his own nindo. The function of ninpoto is not to be defeated by mouth escape. Only one's own forbearance is firm enough to be immune to the influence of Moduin. What Jiraiya said became a bunch of useless remarks. Senju Rope Tree felt the changes in itself and had a clear understanding in its heart. I am out of the control of chakra. In chakra, there is the mark of Sage of Six Paths, which is like the subconscious hypnosis, which has always affected the behavior of others. Only by awakening your own tolerance can you not be affected. There was a feeling of fear in my heart. It turned out that he was just a puppet of Sage of Six Paths. Only then did he truly break away from the control of Sage of Six Paths. The so-called Super Shadow turns out to be unaffected by the Sage of Six Paths, and unaffected by other people's words. This is the cognition of Senju Rope Tree. Combined with the forbidden technique of reincarnation in the earth, Senju has a new understanding of the way of ninja. As long as the ninja reincarnated by the filthy land can awaken his ninja, he can escape from control and return to the pure land. Isn't this a transcendent influence? As long as my strength exceeds Sage of Six Paths, I won't be affected by the fate he has set. Whoever dares to interfere with my destiny, I will surpass him and let everything be destined and controlled by me. If Indra was stronger than Sage of Six Paths, would he fail again and again? Won't. Indra is the victor. Senju Rope Tree has the answer in his heart and finds the way to the future. Go beyond the Sage of Six Paths and let your destiny flow uninterrupted. Chapter 49. In Senju's eyes, there is a kind of ambition. Even if Sage of Six Paths appears in front of him, he will be turned into a pile of experimental materials for himself. With the blessing of the bloodline complementation system in his eyes, the Otsutsuki clan is not that unattainable, and everything only takes time. Right from the Second Ninja War, the Uchiha clan, the Hyuga clan, the Sarutobi clan, the Inagacho clan, the Toads of Mount Myaboku, and all those who hurt him are nutrients for his growth. Let me sacrifice myself to fulfill you. Why not sacrifice you to fulfill me? Doesn't everything have the final say with the power in your hands? Jiraiya, you know that I will die and the Senju clan will perish, but you still have this attitude. This makes me very unhappy. This is the fate in your eyes, not the future in my eyes. Senju opened his eyes. His eyes were full of indifference and his tone was calm. It exudes a cold aura, and wherever it goes, all life is absorbed by the Senju Rope Tree. Senju's ninja is even more powerful. If the world is his enemy, he will destroy the entire world. You are indeed a destroyer of order. Once you grow up, the ninja world will be destroyed. We can no longer allow you to live. Jiraiya stared closely at the Senju Rope Tree. This change made him feel a sense of terror, and his face became even more embarrassed. He could not have become a thug who destroyed the world just because of his temporary weakness. He had to do something. The vitality of the entire world is being absorbed by the Senju Rope Tree. I guess, as the great Toad Sage said, the entire world will be swallowed by the Senju Rope Tree. His hands were in seals, his white hair was frizzy, his pupils turned into horizontal one-character characters, red blood marks were left at the corners of his eyes, and his mouth became wider and flatter, becoming more and more like a toad. A fishy smell emanates from the body, preventing Senju's chi from spreading. Do it. Use a space cage to block it from using necromancy. The Senju Rope Tree witnessed Jiraiya's changes and became closer to the toad on Mount Myaboku. His nose twitched, his brows furrowed, and he ordered Senju Doma. In Jiraiya's eyes, he might have been used to the fishy smell on his body, but Senju felt nauseous. A group of self-righteous beasts dare to decide the fate of the world by making wild claims. And there are also people who don't know what they mean, but they really agree with this prediction. The whole world has been distorted to this point. What Senju couldn't accept the most was that he was the victim, the one who had the overall situation in mind. I can sacrifice. I can take the overall situation into consideration. I can give my life for the things I care about, but I can't help you. A group of self-righteous, superior fools. The benefits cannot be shared. So I have to shoulder the responsibilities alone? What is the difference between this and your previous life when you farted or lit a fire and said that the greenhouse effect of the world was caused by me? The right and wrong in your words are not the right and wrong of this world. This time, the Senju Rope Tree will not succumb to the oppression of the world. Use the power of control to resist this injustice. Senju anticipated Jiraiya's next move and would use his most powerful attack mode. The transformation into a half-animal that occurred on his body was a prelude to Sage mode. The next step will naturally be to channel two old toads and cast the imperfect Sage mode. It is necessary to cut off his connection with Mount Myaboku at this time. Otherwise, Jiraiya's strength will increase exponentially, and at that time, various accidents will occur. Wood-style Tree Realm Cage. Senju Doma was a little surprised. Senju Rookie's order was carried out without hesitation. If you want to destroy the Senju clan he protects and sacrifice the Senju Rope Tree he protects, you must step over his body. Wood-style Deep Forest Creation. Both of them used their most powerful ninjutsu at the same time. The tree cage in Senju's earth came to carry his will. The cage is both protection and confinement, protecting the Senju clan and imprisoning all those who want to harm the Senju clan. This cage, combined with the sealing techniques mastered by Senju Doma, forms barriers that can block necromancy. The arrival of the tree world of the Senju Rope Tree has a similar function to the Senju Rope Tree. Within this tree world, the power of the Senju Rope Tree is maximized and can invalidate some ninjutsu and obey the will of the Senju Rope Tree. Bang! Jiraiya looked heavy, bit his own finger, and pressed it on the psychic formation formed by black chains on the ground. As the Senju Rope Tree expected, Jiraiya was going to summon the two old toads and use the human-animal sage mode. After a burst of smoke cleared, the two old toads did not appear, and at the same time they lost contact with Mount Mayaboku. Jiraiya's eyes were filled with surprise. The ground began to shake, and the surrounding scene completely changed, being shrouded in a large forest. There were sparse sounds in his ears, and there were a few broken leaves growing on the brown vines, climbing on the ground like pythons, strangling towards him. Damn! Toad oil, great fireball technique. Jiraiya cursed secretly, spit out black oil from his mouth, combined it with the great fireball technique and released it. He wanted to use powerful flames to push back the vines surrounding him. Originally this ninjutsu, his cooperation with the Toad of Mount Mayaboku would be perfect, but now there is a stalemate. The effect was not as good as he imagined. The flame was only a few meters away from him before it began to gradually extinguish and was of no use. Fortunately, the toad oil he spat out was like poison, dripping on the plants in deep forest creation. Wherever it touched, dots of stone patterns like Madara appeared, no longer controlled by the Senju Rope Tree. Before he could be happy, brown vines attacked, entangled his limbs, tightened his throat, and left circles of red binding marks on his body. His eyes were full of bloodshot eyes. Senju Rope Tree is so ruthless that it doesn't give me any time to react. It seems that I already knew that I wanted to summon Shima Sennin and Fukasaku Sennin. The wood style of these two people is really tricky. Maybe this time, it will be damaged here. Jiraiya was upset because he lost the initiative in the first place, knowing that he was no match for the two of them and wanted to enter Sage Mode. However, the connection with Mount Mayaboku was cut off by Senju Doma's ninjutsu, and it was impossible to summon the two Toad Sages to help. If this continues, he will die. Gwa. Jiraiya's throat swelled, like a toad breaking the vines that bound his throat when it cries. He spit out black toad oil from his mouth, blocking all plants that wanted to attack him, and the vines on his body spread out. Sage Mode. With a low growl, he forced himself into Sage Mode. His head became half like a human and half like a toad. The most toad-like part is his legs. The feet wearing wooden clogs have turned into toad webs and are no longer human. Toes. Chapter 50. Sage Art, 5 Escape Continuous Bullets. With a determination in his eyes, he used his latest and strongest ninjutsu, and he was ready to sacrifice. The image of the body is closer to that of a toad. The natural attribute chakra is also gathered more, and the balance in the body is completely broken. Bang bang bang. Bursts of smoke sounded, and 4 Jiraiya clones lined up alongside him. 5 Jiraiyas simultaneously release ninjutsu with 5 different attributes. Cooperating with each other, the 5 attributes generate each other and enhance each other's power. In the intertwined part, you can see that the nature of chakra blends with each other, forming the prototype of the blood inheritance limit. Storm style, explosion style, scorch style. These 2 attribute chakras form the blood inheritance limit. Rumble. The earth began to shake, and the powerful force directly tore a hole into deep forest creation and the tree cage, and everything turned into nothingness. Jiraiya's body was wrapped in his own white hair, forming a protective shield, so he was not affected. A large pit appeared on the spot, and the ninjutsu between Senju Rope Tree and Senju Earth was violently cracked. With Jiraiya as the center, within a radius of tens of meters, all trees and rocks turned into nothingness. Bang! A powerful impact, rushing towards the Senju Rope Tree and Senju soil, among which the Sage Jutsu chakra is very domineering. The resulting shock wave falls on the body of the Senju Rope Tree, directly destroying the prosthetic limb formed by the wood style on the body. The 5 attribute chakra plus the natural attribute chakra form the Sage Jutsu chakra, which is superior in quality and power to the current wood style chakra of the Senju Rope Tree. Huge pressure pressed on Senju's body, like a giant hammer, beating his body, causing blood to spit out from his mouth. The legs and right arm evolved from wood style turned into powder and disappeared under the impact of the aftermath. Extremely embarrassed, When the smoke cleared, Senju saw Jiraiya standing there. Panting heavily, pus-filled bumps appeared on his body, getting closer and closer to the toad's skin. I have to admire him in my heart. 5 escapes and a big continuous bomb. Sarutobi Hiruzen was proud of ninjutsu, but he never expected that it would be taught to Jiraiya, and he would combine it with the Sage Jutsu Chakra, making his power even higher. This ninjutsu carries Sarutobi Hiruzen's ambition, trying to fuse the 5 chakra attributes together to form a blood inheritance beyond the dust style. It's a pity that this is in the ninja world, and the ninja physique of the Sarutobi clan cannot carry something like this. Senju guessed that in the later story, Hiruzen Sarutobi was behind the experiment of Bairu-hu. Otherwise, how could a commoner, even a genius, master such forbidden knowledge? It seems that I underestimated Hiruzen Sarutobi's ambition before. Attention returned to Jiraiya, integrating the natural attribute chakra and using Mount Myaboku's Sage mode to catalyze it. Sage Art, 5 escape large continuous bullets. It is not surprising that it has such power. But Jiraiya couldn't use it perfectly. The chakra in his body was rioting, and he was already 70% transformed into a toad. Only a third of it remained like a human being, which was already at the end of his strength. Wood Style, the art of cutting. Senju Rope Tree uses the remaining one-hand seal to use Wood Style's most basic killing ninjutsu. 2 wooden spears broke out from the ground, inserted straight into Jiraiya's legs, and penetrated his body. Under normal circumstances, Jiraiya might be able to escape, but now his body has turned into a toad and is on the verge of collapse. Gwa 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 gwa. Senju Rope Tree wanted to continue attacking, but frogs croaked in his ears. It made him upset, and various pictures appeared in his mind, which interfered with the operation of chakra in his body, and even his thinking came to a standstill. Just when the smoke cleared, Jiraiya summoned these 2 old toads. In the field of view of the Senju Rope Tree, 2 old toads, the size of an adult's arms, appeared, Fukasaku Sannin and Shima Sannin of Mount Myaboku, and they were making a shrill scream. 2 old toads, standing on Jiraiya's shoulders, one on each side, helped Jiraiya heal his injuries and control the natural attribute chakra erosion in his body. He was already making seals with his claws, trying to use counter-spiritual techniques. Wanting to return to Mount Myaboku, a whirlpool across space appeared, and half of Jiraiya's body had entered it. Wood Style man-eating flower. Senju Tujin got rid of the sound of frogs and formed seals with his hands. In front of me, you cause this kind of harm to the person I want to protect, and you still want to leave without any damage? How can it be as you wish? Click. The piranha, which looked like a big mouth, bit half of Jiraiya's body and cut it off. Leaving half of his body behind, Jiraiya used this unreasonable method to head to Mount Myaboku. The foreign objects in Piranha's mouth were 2 completely transformed legs, stained with black solution. He still ran away, so I taught him a lesson. Senju Naoki dismissed the discomfort in his mind, glanced at Senjudoma, and then looked at the place where Jiraiya had just left. Can Jiraiya recover from such a serious transformation into a beast? According to the nature of this world, Jiraiya can not only recover, but also become stronger. He must improve his strength when he doesn't have this trouble. The next time he appears, Jiraiya will not be so careless. His eyes were fixed on the 2 toad legs that were about to dissolve, and he had an idea in his mind. This level of injury actually solved Jiraiya's alienated state. There is a doubt in my mind. The art of counter-channeling is also a special kind of time and space ninjutsu. Can it be used in this way? But when facing Nagato Uzumaki's 6 Paths clone in the future, he was willing to die. What a twisted world. We just caught them off guard. Jiraiya and those 2 old toads are very strong, at least stronger than Tsunade. Senjudoma had a solemn look on his face, recalling the brief confrontation just now, and reassessed the strength of both sides in his mind. If there are those 2 old toads cooperating, Jiraiya's strength will be greatly improved, and he will not only have the power of 1 blow. It is also a threat to them. It won't be the result it is now. Senju Rope Trees are likely to be dangerous, or even lose their lives. Don't worry about Jiraiya anymore. I've had enough of this incompleteness. I must restore my integrity as soon as possible in order to have stronger strength. Senju recovered from his injuries and used Wood Style to form prosthetic limbs for himself again. If he hadn't mastered the secret information, it would not have been so easy to deal with Jiraiya and achieve such results. The most important thing for him now is to improve his strength, make his body complete, and his bloodline evolve. The battle between Konoha and Sunagakure village is his best opportunity.
Thanks for watching. You can find the next videos in the playlist linked in the info card, directly on my channel, or right here on the screen. And as always, if you have any feedback, feel free to share it in the comments too.